So we are live, you guys. I don't know where everybody is, but I am absolutely ready to be up in here. And y'all just ready to chop it up. Hello, Sam. How are
Hey,
you
Bubs.
doing?
I'm doing good, girl. You know, they worked my fingers to the bone today at work, so I cannot wait to unwind on the soap operas.
Well, I am so glad that you are here because, honey, let me tell you. Paris got me feeling myself, and I really need to talk to somebody about how much I want to kick Eric Forrester in the nuts the same way Stephanie Forrester kicked him in the nuts all those many, many years ago.
So,
Evening, y'all.
oh,
Hey,
hey, Darlene.
hey, Amaya. Um,
Hey, Maya. Oh, hey, Erlene, waving us down from
From
Facebook.
YouTube.
from
Oh,
YouTube
YouTube.
land. From
So,
YouTube land.
Bubs, what's the YouTube link?
I posted it just now.
So, so
Because
my
it's
daughter's
a channel. It's a channel, so you have to go to the YouTube channel. Somebody is sending me a message too. Who is talking to me? This is Michael. We are on right now, Michael. Links have been
waiting
shared.
for her to tell me. Drinks
Hold
the
on
day
a
after.
second
What's the
because
drinks the day after?
look for hashtag drinks the day after because the YouTube channel is youtube.com/channel /uppercase U uppercase C. So it's a lot of that. If you are on Twitter, I just shared it. So it's in the hashtag, it's on the tweet, it's on my page. Because it's kind of long, and that's just the way YouTube does it. But you can also search for drinks the day after, hashtag drinks the day after, because we are broadcasting live over there right now. So you guys should be able to see it. And you should also be able to see the broadcast on Twitter because it'll come up on Twitter.
Hello.
Hey, Stephen Stanley is here too. Let's see.
Hey, good evening.
Child. Sorry I'm late. I had to go deal with Amazon real quick.
Well, we're just getting started because there's some people still needing some guidance to get to the YouTube. Let me see if you know what? Silly rabbit. Let me see if I can turn it into a banner on StreamYard. And then you guys can at least see it to tell people what it is. And then if you're on Twitter, then you'll be able to see it as well.
Sorry to interrupt.
Well, one thing I will say while we get everything set up is that today was very petty and messy, and I love that.
I think.
I agree with Sam.
Because that's not
Paris got to go.
Nah. Paris probably needs to be in the unemployment line after that little stunt today. But let her stick around and make a fool of herself. Because me myself, I was just like, yeah, Quinn, get her.
Honey,
Her
Paris
mama.
lost her whole damn mind. Okay? She went in there talking to Quinn like Quinn was just some chick on the streets. Ma'am, are you really trying to get fired today? Oh,
Chris said, my name is Mrs. Eric Forster. Do you remember who you talking to?
Well, one thing is this. This is the thing about Forrester Creations, and we all know this as fans of the show. Yes, it is a very unprofessional environment. However, the only people who could jump stupid inside those walls is Forresters, Logans, and people who are screwing either Forrester or Logans. That's it.
Exactly.
That's it. If you're not in one of those three categories, you still work for those people. And Paris seems to have forgotten that because the thing is, she was jumping stupid with Quinn, because she was in her feelings because of what she heard. And yeah, yes, Stephen, I understand that I wanted to fight Paris too. I was like,
We
you know
all
what?
wanted to fight Paris, but I was cheering along like, girl, don't get fired today. Go get your face slapped by Queen today. But she didn't.
It's
I
the
was
way
like-
how she walked in. Like, ma'am, do you not see them privately talking? You couldn't knock on the door.
So listen, I have to say that today was reminiscent of a bad bitch day. I just put it that way because Paris, none of us like her, but Paris was on her. She had her ass on her shoulders today. She walked into that office and she basically let Quinn and Carter know, I see you, and I am not afraid to call you out on it. Quinn had no problems with bossing right back up and letting it be known. Remember who you talking to. This is the boss's wife. And then we had Taylor. What, hunty, honey? I mean, Taylor.
Taylor's in her hot.
Hunty.
Taylor is in her hot girl season.
Girl, and let me tell you, she is hot girling it. Because if she did not walk the catwalk when she walked into Eric's house today to check Brooke, honey, I was so freaking impressed. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't ever remember Taylor being quite like this.
Thomas Soda, go over there.
She was absolutely reveling in the fact that she could tell Brooke that, yes, your husband is not coming home to you. He's determining what is best for his future. Now, you tell me that ain't a bad bitch. That can go to somebody else's husband.
It was.
No.
Listen, Paris. Well, not Paris. Damn it, Brooke. We're talking about Brooke sitting up here on Eric's couch, right? Y'all, the audacity to just run to Eric and tell him to make Ridge
Come back home.
come home to her. Make Eric, you can do it. Make
It sounded like she wanted Eric to just put him out.
And listen, in the way, in how effortlessly and how audaciously she said it. She didn't even ask. She basically let him know, I'm going to need for you to go to bat for me with Ridge. I don't care what you got to do it, but get it done.
As soon as Taylor walked in, Eric did a little smile. I'm just like, Eric, what you smiling for? You all Team Brooke anyway. Sit down.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Now,
but you
Taylor
saw how chicken he is, though. He as soon as Taylor got her ass up in there, all was like, I'm not gonna choose. I'm gonna go. Yeah, run, little man, run.
Oh yes, because he always makes it clear that he's Team Brooke, but today he said he wasn't taking sides. I think he felt Taylor's energy. I think he didn't want a piece of that.
It's very possible.
She over here disrespecting Taylor. Taylor came and said, "Are you serious?" Reed said he wanted space.
Amaya said that Eric has always been Team Brooke and Stephanie was Team Taylor, and Eric was trying to get to pickleball. You're right on both points.
Yeah.
And Taylor even pointed that out that, girl.
Yeah,
wait,
that was a good use of history.
Yes, y'all heard that shade that Taylor threw about Stephanie and Brooke.
Right.
I said, ooh,
right. They using history. So y'all,
who took the pen and wrote that?
So y'all cannot tell me that there is not someone else new in there, because
most definitely
referring to history now. They're referring to the fact that Eric was Team Brooke and Stephanie was Team Taylor, and Stephanie died in Brooke's arms. I'm telling you, this show is firing on all cylinders right now.
That was some good shade. She only just died in your arms. Yeah, she would take my side, but she picked your ass. So whatever.
And let's be honest, we all know that was a Brad Bell brainchild, that idea for Susan Flannery's exit from the show. And it has been one of the biggest points of contention in all of Bold and Beautiful history, because we all know, that wasn't true to how the story ran.
Yeah, that's some bull.
That's a bull. So for Taylor to be able to get recast, come back to the show, and slide a little dig in there about the circumstances of Stephanie's end. Oh, hey, Michael. Um, Pretty good. Pretty good.
Mhm.
For her to be able to slide that little dig in there like it wasn't ain't no thing, like sliding a knife between somebody's ribs on the side.
That
I was like, ooh,
beautiful.
Shanked her.
ooh, ooh,
Shame
ooh.
y'all.
Hold on, Taylor coming up off the top rope. She gonna put an elbow in there.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Brooks
She
was talking
came,
to the side of her
it
neck.
looked like she came to fight. She put some Vaseline on her cheekbones and she tied her hair up and she snatched her earrings off before
Oh, we did.
she
She wore flats.
She sure
No,
did.
it's the fact that Brooks said, and I quote, "I stayed outside until Quinn left the house to talk to you."
But look, she do that same shit with Deacon. She allows Deacons to sneak into her house when Ridge is gone. Her
Right.
and Eric is the same damn person.
Right?
Mhm.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
I think I tweeted about that. They
You
both
did.
let people into their house that they know their spouses don't want there. Now, if Quinn
Yep.
had forgot something and turned back around and came back and Brooke was in her house, that ain't nothing but a fight. You already
Right,
know.
because you know that's supposed to be a fight. You can't tell me that you can only come to visit my house when I'm not home and my husband is home. That's
Not
the
to
bull.
mention, not to mention the last time Brooke had her ass in Eric's foyer, it was to tell him, I know about how my sister gave you a stiffy and you need to get rid of your wife and get with her. So yeah, I would think that she wouldn't want Quinn the hell over
Right.
there.
That was one of
She
the
forgot Quinn
instances
was
where she
she
wasn't
forgot Quinn was
And
upstairs.
Eric knows that. Hey guys.
Hey,
Hey,
Ken
Ken.
Ken.
Yeah, Eric knows that and he doesn't even respect her enough to tell Brooke that. What does that tell you guys about that? Like, he's not respecting her, so what the heck the slut from the valley gonna do? She gonna do what she always do, disrespect
Exactly.
all the women.
Right, because Eric shouldn't even allow a woman to is purposely wait on his wife to leave to come over to his house. That's disrespectful to his wife.
I
Just like,
mean,
come on now. That's
he was
disrespectful.
the first 3 minutes of the show. Eric was pure trash. First, telling Quinn that he couldn't have lunch with her because he had an appointment, and yeah, we all rolled our eyes real hard at that appointment shit. And
Mm-hmm.
then Brooke comes flouncing herself in there to command him to tell Rick Ridge to come home to her, which I just rolled my eyes at because I was like, so let me get this straight. Ridge is telling you he wants time to, think about things, but you're not letting him have that time. And I posted under, I think it was it Glowworm, I think is her name. I might have her
Uh-huh.
name wrong.
Yeah, that's Gloria.
Yeah. So she posted a clip about that, and I was like, you know what? This all gives me the same feeling I had back when Steam and Lope were arguing it out after Steffi came back from Paris when she was pregnant but didn't tell Liam. She moved out of the Cliff House because Liam asked her to because he didn't know what he wanted, like a typical wishy-washy man. So she moved out so that he could have time to think about it. And what did Brooke do? She set up a surprise wedding in his backyard with a priest flew in from
That's
Italy.
what I was saying with that. This is her typical behavior. Brooke
Exactly.
never lets the men think for themselves because if they do, they may not choose them.
Exactly. And she can't allow for that. She can't let him have the time to make a choice because she's threatened enough by Taylor's bad bitch energy in LA to think that she might not be the choice. So she's
But
going about the side door and going in for enforcements to get Eric to help.
I know what she really threatened about because see, time ain't her friend. Everybody know the reason why their relationship has been on because it's a sexual relationship, and she admitted it when she told that to Taylor.
Passion.
About the
Girl,
passion,
I
honey.
laughed.
Listen, Shy. Oh,
Oh
I
my
can't
God.
believe
Can
Ken.
you
You
not
get to the
tell me
passion.
you can't have passion? Okay, you can have passion all that you want in your 20s and 30s and 40s. Let's be real. When you get a certain age, that's not why you with a person. It's companionship. What do you find interesting together? Not no passion all the time. It's passion if you come home with some groceries. That's
Thank you very
passion.
much. That's a good
Not the
passion.
groceries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Guys, I need to interject something. I accidentally ended the spaces. If you in the spaces and it's still going, you lucky. I think, but I dropped the phone and I think I hit the end and spaces is gone. So this was gonna be the last night for it anyway. So, but if you was over there, you can't be over there no more because it's done. It's over.
Yeah, when I just tried to log in, it didn't even send me here. I had to go to StreamYard. Anyway,
Okay, well that's good.
So
Um,
yeah, I was killing myself laughing because I was like, the part that I couldn't get was like she basically said Ridge didn't love you, and she got offended. She got offended when Taylor said that she loved Ridge. It's like, well, honey, hold on. Y'all been doing this dance for 20 some years, and both of y'all have spent a lot of time saying how y'all love Ridge Forrester, baby. You know that, and I know that.
Right.
And I was like, and you're offended because Taylor said that she loved that, she loves Ridge and Ridge loves her, whatever. I'm like, honey, you got Thorne divorced your ass over saying you still love Ridge.
She
Right.
was
And
She
irritated.
left up for the same thing. She
She
already knows
was
the
irritated.
can I reply to Michael's comment because he just irked my soul. Talking
what
about
happened? I missed it.
that comment that just went across the screen. Talking about some Donna is his match and
that.
Quinn did it first. Basically, did you see it?
I just put. She's talking about what Michael said. I just put it back up.
Well, Eric is doing exactly what Quinn did. Donna's a better match for. Well, I agree with
First
part of
of
that,
all,
Michael. Donna is a better match for Eric because they both trifling. And trifling is as trifling does. So put the trifling together. You right, sir. You right.
Quinn didn't ask for Eric to take Brooke's side to keep downing his wife. She didn't ask for that. He's the one left the marriage and chose to have an emotional attachment to Donna. She didn't ask for that. How can you
Well,
say
wait a
that?
minute now. Eric
Come
checked out of that marriage long before.
We tracked it back to November.
on.
We did.
Right.
I'm tracking it back to when he set up that he took Brooke's side over what happened. No, you
But
don't do.
after
I
he
don't
took
care if my wife.
You mean the Shauna
so
Ridge mess?
Yes,
Yeah.
no.
yes.
Right. Well, the fallout from the Shauna and Ridge mess. So after Eric took Quinn back, we all remember when Eric took Quinn back and she moved out of Wyatt's beach house to move back home with her husband, and he was gone. They were off screen all of that time until November. So this was prior to
And she
November
was
because
there. And
all
she
that
was
time they were
there.
off screen. We thought they were happily married because they had just reunited from the Shauna wedding fallout. But they didn't. When they came back on screen, we heard that they weren't sleeping together, and that's when Eric had a cold shoulder. And when Quinn told him she loved him when he was about to leave for that meeting, he turned his back and walked out the door and did not say one word to her. That same
I
night is
believe
when
he
she
was
finally
going to
slept with
meet
Carter.
Donna then.
Well,
Yes,
that's what I thought.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's
Right,
when
that's
he
what I
started.
thought.
That's when after he figured it out that he could get a rise out of himself again from Donna. That's when he started picking booing around that corner and going to see about what Donna got to offer
But
again.
Well,
here's
so
the
now
thing.
remember though, if they try to retcon that, it would be a retcon because after Quinn started having an affair, remember, Donna was with him that afternoon in the office. He did not make a pass at Donna, and she wasn't too aggressive with him. You know how they are. But nobody was cheating at this time. Eric literally started this foolishness even before the November. It was literally while they were off screen. And it was after he forgave her about the Brooke fiasco.
So
So,
after
if they
he
try to
fired,
retcon
Gave on paper.
so you
they
saying this is after he fired her? That's when he started it up.
No.
that's exactly how it appeared on screen because he didn't the day that the day that Quinn began her affair with Carter, Eric was with Donna in the office, and it was not sexual at all. Donna
Right.
stayed at the office. Eric went out of town. Now they could say that they were out of town together, but it wouldn't play. It wouldn't jive for me. Because even after that, we didn't see Donna for weeks. She was just gone, and she only showed up again when she was in the bed with Honey Bear
We don't need to talk about Honey Bear no more.
with his
That's making
nasty
me
But
behind
sick.
she
because
was
he
she
That's
was
just making me
babysitting for
sick.
Hope off screen some of that time because Hope did mention her a couple times. The kids are with Aunt Donna.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that's when she was being a surrogate. Right.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, she was talked of more than we were actually seeing her on screen. But that was the
Hmm.
same for Eric and Quinn. They had been gone all that time before November. And even after the ED story wrapped up, they still disappeared for a while and they just coming back.
Only
And
to
he
find
still
out with this,
giving her
only to
the
come back
same
with this
cold
mess.
shoulder.
But yeah, but they coming back with this. At least they coming back to give us Porter. So they're going to give us
Hmm.
Porter. But since John McCook is Eric the patriarch, they're not going to leave him, left and depressed at 800 years old. So
So
they
did
gave
you
him
guys
Donna.
see that Maya just put out a new doctor has been casted according to closing credits on Marco's page?
Hmm. Well, that could go two
A
of
new
one or two
doctor.
ways.
So now that
That
makes
could
me
swing by
wonder
Bridget
about
Way
that
or
new
Taylor.
person they were
Oh,
talking about, a new romance.
so that's gonna be for Taylor. Is this gonna be a James Ward part two?
I
Well,
don't
I don't
suppose they
know.
could have dragged.
Could be
I don't
anybody.
suppose they could. I don't suppose they could have dragged Pierce Peterson behind ass out of somewhere because that
Oh,
would have been just my dream casting.
I would
Ooh,
love for Pierce
me too.
to come back. I have
I love the way he threatened Rick.
Child, you would
Like,
not
he was
be able to tell me nothing.
It
If
won't be
Pierce
the
Peterson came
same
back.
actor though, because the actor is teaching in Idaho or Oklahoma or
He pretty much gave acted up.
somewhere in the place where nobody would expect the actor to go. But that man show was fine back in the day. I
Yes,
ain't
he was,
gonna
honey.
leave that
was.
alone.
Yes, he
Remember when
was.
he was in Creep Show? Am I the only one that remember when he
Oh
was?
no, honey, Deke on the raft in that speedo. I remember it well.
He must have. That was.
You
I don't
remember
think
the
that was the
speedo
first
more
thing
than
I
the
saw him
man.
in.
Stop playing.
The man was in the yellow speedo and he filled it out quite nicely.
See,
I,
that is just terrible, man.
and he was probably in his early 20s, probably a teenager, because he was just ripped.
Hmm.
To the, I was like, and it took me years to make the connection because when I saw him on Bold and the Beautiful, I was like, he looks so familiar. I know I didn't seen this man. Where have I seen him before? And that was back before we really had solid internet. So I don't even think we had internet movie database back in those
Oh no, we
days.
was all on dial up still.
Yeah, so I was like,
AOL.
where did I see it from? Where
Amaya
did I
saying that he
see
may be
that?
Lee's helper. He may be Lee's helper. That does
Oh, that
sound
makes
good.
sense. That tracks.
Uh,
She can't be doing all that by herself. She got to be connected
Right.
to somebody.
I was
Exactly.
gonna
yes.
say somebody is gonna have to make
Somebody
Quinn
helped her sleep.
unbrain dead.
Somebody helped him sleep her out. Something happened because
Yeah,
What
because
if
that
Yeah,
nobody,
she's
all
nobody,
too
if
your
nobody
small.
knows
brain.
that Finn is gone,
She's too small and petite to be and carry that man in his stretcher all by herself.
she
Not
got
just
that
that,
bad
but
hold up in the
once he
hotel.
wakes up, if he because from everything that's come out between the articles, the love letters, that of the from the previews. Not to mention, did any of y'all read Ricky's recap of the podcast with Tanner? I'm gonna go back and
I
listen to it because
listened to.
I haven't had a chance to yet.
I've
But
got it posted on my page. If you want to listen to the Tanner Novelin Soap Opera Digest interview, it's pinned to my Twitter page. And I did
cool.
listen to it, and he is a big Sin stan, honey. Tanner stands Sin as much as we stand Sin. Or shall I say, I think he stands Sin fans as much as we stand Sin.
Yes, like did you see my tweet? I love it. I love that he's so into it. Like he's just like Krista. Like they are into the story just as much as we are.
Mm-hmm.
They
Tanner
probably
is
watching
a
our
big.
tweets.
Mhm.
They probably watching our tweets.
And so
Mhm.
based on just I haven't listened to it yet, but I read Ricky's recap because she was nice. Ricky was nice enough to recap basically what was said in the podcast,
Mhm.
like about everything that was happening with him coming back and how secretive the whole process is. And he sounds like he gave some pretty good tidbits about what we can expect. So
Yes,
this
he did.
yes, this recovery process that he's going to go through sounds like it's going to be, a bit lengthy.
Yep.
So Lee probably is going to need help. Now Lee got Finn out the hospital the same way Justin dragged
Steven is
Thomas
a
out of
man.
Forrester.
Come on through with Steven. That's exactly how it happened, honey. You probably right. Pull him in on the dolly. Yes, I get you. I
They
got,
don't
Dumb
exist
waiter
on
at the
soaps.
hospital. She put him in the dumb waiter.
yeah.
I'm
Well,
surprised. I'm surprised nobody at the hospital saying, "Where's the patient that was just sitting in this bed?"
Dad, because she signed the death certificate. Come on now, Reginald, keep up.
well,
He
think
died.
about it, Reg. They would have really. Well, that's the thing. If they released his body, they released it to her because Steffi was
Exactly.
incapacitated. So
Yeah,
they ain't
she
looking
was
for
down for the
nobody.
count for 3 days,
It
so
wasn't. It
he
wasn't.
had to have signed for it. That's his next of kin after her.
No, Lee said on the show. She said she smuggled Finn out of the hospital. He was not released. So as a matter of fact, when Steffi goes trying to find information about Finn, what she's going to find out is that no doctor on call that was working that night called his death in called the time of death nor signed the death certificate. That's
So
what she's
they
going to find
basically
out.
gonna have it look like it's a lost patient. They lost
Exactly.
her husband. Oh my
She
God.
said
Well,
she
that's
Yeah,
smuggled
that's
him
well,
out.
right.
That was her word.
that was
She did
what
say smuggle.
She said
she did
smuggled
say
him out.
smuggle. But luckily, Steffi taking herself off to Europe, so I don't think she's gonna have an opportunity to go to the hospital and dig for any
Right.
information.
Right.
Or she probably gonna have one of her family members do.
No, it looked like I think
It looked
when
like she's
Steffi
gonna go for Lee's word. She's gonna take her word for everything and
right
just.
because
I'm sorry. Go
because she
ahead.
don't really. That's okay, huh? Because she don't doubt Lee at this point. She don't understand her, but she doesn't doubt her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she
And
just thinks
remember,
she's having a
yep,
hard
he sure
time with
did.
her.
Bring up the word memorial and see how fast she run.
Ooh, that's
That
her
girl
trigger
be
word.
driving.
Like, up, I gotta go.
So it looks like from what Tara posted last night, it looks like unlike Brooke, Steffi decides to go back to the office, marginally quick after, her life falls apart. And she realizes that she's not ready to be there. And Taylor, encourages her to take time for herself and to do whatever she needs to do to, actually, start trying to deal with what happened. And what she's going to do is take herself and her babies off to Europe.
Now that's gonna be that spoiler picture that we saw where the Tridge family was at the office. We've all been wondering when is that
Right.
scene coming.
Right.
That's the scene. So we talked
Okay.
about that 2-3 weeks ago. How long
Yeah,
has
this
it been?
was last week. This was at the top of last week. We saw that picture.
And guess what? And guess what I'm seeing? Tanner Nalvin's commercial. For Cleveland, Michigan.
Hold on,
Tanner,
Lee. You know
Tanner's
he got
name
a
is on
baby on the
everybody's
way.
lips right now.
He got to get that coin. And that baby coming. I'll
Well,
just send
Steffi
Liberty
is
Liberty
getting
too.
bad vibes from Lee. I think it's like her vibes aren't so much really bad. I don't think bad's the word I would use. It's more that a lot of confusion because she
Right.
just does not. She understands the grieving part because she's going through it herself, but she just can't. She just can't understand this stout.
Yeah.
I will not even talk about my son being gone. Absolute flat out denial. That's what she doesn't understand. This total 100% denial that Lee has going on. I would think she had cracked like an egg too, because that's what my brain would be thinking.
That's
One
what she
word.
said, though. She did mention it. Steffi said it's like she's hiding something from me. So it's like this is not normal. This is odd behavior of hers. So she's like questioning it, but I don't think she's like saying it's something bad. She just think it's odd.
Then she gonna ask Liam, "Did you notice it?" Liam told us, "Yeah, I noticed it." Liam, go away. Just
Oh, you
fly
mean
away.
the fly that was in the wall that was supposed to leave?
He said he was gonna leave when Baker left. Like, dude, leave.
He made a U-turn
He
through that
did. He
kitchen
left the
island and
room.
came right back around.
Then he gonna serve Lee coffee like he the man of the house. Lee looking at him like, "Sir, what are you doing here? Aren't you married?"
Not the man of the house. Don't you mean the butler of the house? No, not the man. He don't live there. He lived in the shack. Come on now.
Nah, this ain't Young and the Restless where people get to have interest in the help gets to be interesting. Okay. Okay. That's not the kind of show the Bold and the Beautiful is.
He the caretaker. He over here. Then when Lee gonna leave, he gonna hug Stephanie to give her a kiss on the forehead. I would have been like, "Sir, I'm married. Go away."
Now, what I did find very interesting, even though it didn't last long, I want to talk about Zende and Carter.
What was Zende wearing today? I just did not
Child.
get over that 1975 Temptation on
Did he have on his pleasure suit? He had on one of them
Yeah, he had a
Saturday
leisure
Night
suit
Fever.
on. That's what it
He
looked
looked like
like.
he
A
was
leisure
ready for
suit.
the Soul Train dance line.
He done walked
I
up
don't
on
know. Maybe
Carter.
he been listening to Silk Sonic. I don't know.
It's
You know,
Look,
Anderson
not
he
Paak's
just
was
been
dressed
walking
like
around with
that
that,
unless they on the stage. He ain't performing.
well,
He
you never
dressed like that
know.
on the stage.
Maybe he been listening. You know how Anderson Paak had that damn Ike Turner wig on ever since the Grammys. So maybe that's what happened. That's
not
I'm
ever since the Grammys. It's just wrong.
just yeah. He been wearing well. He was wearing it at the Billboard. He was wearing it at the Grammys. He been wearing that pressed Ike Turner wig. So I'm just gonna say that that's probably what's happening. What happened with Zende clothes today? Because I was like, everybody else was dressed okay, but then when I saw that, I was like, oh, we ain't had a miss in a while.
Right. I was just staring at him like, I don't understand how this fits with what anybody else has on today.
So the person that used to design, that used to clothe Hope, is now clothing Zende.
No,
Is
no,
that
Emily, Miss Emily in Paris has been ejected after that fiasco. So I think they had the lady who is doing the new clothes. I can't remember her name on one of the Bold Lives.
Yeah,
Jaleesa.
I seen her. She was on Kimberly's too. She I seen her. She yeah. I think
So,
this is a new wardrobe, but I haven't seen her before, so I think I know who you're talking about.
so yeah,
She's
today
young and
just was
fresh.
yeah. So today was kind of like I don't know what happened with that, but this is the thing that got me. I give credit where it's due. I don't like Paris little ass. Y'all know that. However, I will say this much. Sister is one slick Ricky, isn't she? Not only did she manage to friend zone Zende, and so she could clear the way for her to run after Carter like she wants to. Okay. Not only that, she managed to do it in such a way that she actually has Zende co-signing her pursuit of Carter because he has no idea what really went on there. Sis was kissing on Carter since New Year's Eve when you proposed to her, boo. But you think because of the way that she told you the story that you're just getting out of the way so that the woman that you really have feelings for can go pursue her feelings, and all that matters is her happiness. I'm like, oh, well played, Paris. Well played.
He walking up
Well
on
played.
Carter. He walking up on Carter talking about something. Oh, you don't want me to tell my family about what you've been doing with Paris, sir.
I was like,
Hey,
Zende,
are
All
you
grown
okay?
people too involved in each other's lives. Who cares if your family knows that this dude was over here sleeping with it? She don't even like you like that no more. She don't even want you. Let it go.
He was red hot when he walked up on Carter. Carter looked at him like, "Are you okay, sir? You good?"
exactly. So I was like, okay, Zende. So and then when Carter was like, well, no, I mean, no matter what, I can't do that with her. And then he acted indignant on Paris's behalf. Well, why not? I was like, oh Lord, really? You're indignant because Carter isn't jumping up and down to go run after Paris? I was like, I just shook my head. I'm like, where's Sequoia? Sequoia, come get him. Just get him, go sleep with him, do something. Get some sense into him. I don't know how, but do something. I'm like, did going to Paris for those 2 years just eradicate all the sense that Zende had?
Apparently so.
Then you had Paris up here fantasizing about sleeping with Carter, and Carter was fantasizing about when he slept with Quinn. I'm like, okay, so we gonna stay messy on this one. That's obvious.
Her mama walking in talking about something. Oh, I hope you're thinking about Zende. Ma'am, where did you come from? You go knock before you just suddenly say something?
But listen, I told y'all last night if Carter tries to get back with this girl under some "we gonna take it slow" guys, he's a fool because all she doing is sitting there thinking about the time that they did what they did, and we fix to do it again and again and again and again. That's all she's thinking about is getting it in with Carter. he is not going to be able to not sleep with her, and she's gonna either end up pregnant for real or
Yep.
faking a pregnancy when it comes down to it, because she says she gets what she wants regardless. That's why we looking at this wedding coming up. They're
So
gonna get married, but it's gonna be something else to it. I'm telling you, she either gonna tell him that she's pregnant, and Carter, you always wanted a
yeah.
family. Now
Can
look,
can
I
we
give
put a
you
pin in
one.
that? Can we put a pin in that storyline and
Exactly.
say I called it, please?
Yes,
Yes,
we
ma'am.
can.
That's
Because
gonna be
here's
a
the thing.
hot mess.
Just based on what happened today, Carter is so far off from the he doesn't even want to date Paris right now. But by the time, but a month or some change from now, because this is supposed to be the summer previews, the summer is starting. So you're trying to tell me that sometime between the months of June and July, Carter's gonna go from I don't even want to date you to let's get married. Mm-hmm.
That's why I
Yeah.
said it has to be
Oh, baby.
something really, really, really important and good for him to marry her from going from midnight to noon. It gotta be because of a baby. Like she's
So
going to lie. Like she's not that like her scruples are so absent, so she will pull it off. She'll
But
pull it off, but I think she's gonna get interrupted by Quinn.
well, that's the thing. It's about time. One of the oldest sayings in the world is love is about timing. And this summer, that is going to be an exceptional truth, because here's the thing.
Mhm.
Unless Paris really is most 100% assuredly pregnant with his child, there is almost no other circumstance in this world where Carter would marry Paris if he knew Quinn was an option. It's just, it doesn't exist.
man, I'm gonna tell you what it is, because I've been waiting to tell you.
What
go
is
ahead.
it?
So here we go. If she's not pregnant, and I was thinking about this when Can was talking. If she's not pregnant, what else could she use to keep Carter? We had nobody fake an illness on this show since Sally faked her illness. I don't know. I can't remember if Paris was part of that. Like if Paris was kind of in the know or not. But what I do know is that Paris told her mama she wants Carter. And I think Grace is going to change her mind and support Paris. So whether it's a fake pregnancy or a fake illness, her mama is going to support her, because that's going to be the only way that she can pull it off is with a medical professional on the sideline. Because think about it, if she fakes a pregnancy, he's going to want a pregnancy test.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's going to have to get her some pregnant pee or a pre-peed on strip or some fake blood results. Who else is going to do that except for her mama, who's working at the hospital?
Right.
She needs to fake being sick, a la Ashlyn Locke. Who else but her mama is gonna be able to give her medicine that will mimic an illness? It ain't even gotta be cancer. She gonna one up Sally Spectra, and she's gonna really be sick, but it's gonna be because her mama is helping her by giving her something that makes it look like she's ill. That way she ain't gotta remember to be sick. And that's
You
what I
think
was
it's
telling y'all about Ashlyn. He had a doctor helping him so that he don't have to remember to be sick. All these he's passing out when he's by himself. Yeah, because the medicine don't know that he's by himself. The medicine knows that he needs to pass out, and it did what it do. He just happened to be alone. So I think it's going to be either a pregnancy or a really good fake illness.
now if
Quinn,
they pull that fake illness again so soon after Sally, I'm done.
Yeah.
That's so unoriginal. At this point, Sally should have dead that type of storyline for at least 10 more years. Like, cause nobody wants to see that. Because of the type of character she was, I hate that they pulled that stunt on her. But the type of character that Paris is, that's befitting. But I wouldn't think they would pull it right away, like so soon after
Well,
Sally.
well, I
Well,
have
that's
to
the thing.
interrupt
Oh no, go ahead, Sam.
because we have a hospital set now. We've got Grace as a doctor now. Finn is still a doctor. Lee is a doctor.
Right.
So a real pregnancy or a fake illness or a fake
Yeah, like
pregnancy.
half the cast is doctors now.
Exactly. We got almost as many,
Bridget is
as
a doctor.
our percentage of doctors to cast is probably higher than GH's. So
Yeah, like, and it's supposed to be a fashion Fashion
No,
is
Exactly.
what
fashion.
about Bridget? Dr. Bridget's back too.
And
My-
Bridget
That's
is
what I
back
said.
too.
That's what I said. Bridget's back too.
And Jack might be a doctor, according to what Casey was saying. We don't know. We'll have to wait until Jack shows up. But they were saying Casey was a doctor. I'm sorry, Jack was a doctor.
I don't buy that
Why
because
can't
Casey
he just be a carpenter?
was agreeing with Candy.
Right. And it didn't make sense either because they had too many conversations about Lee and Ken being doctors. So probably not. But we got a lot of doctors. So a
Why
type
he
of
just can't
illness.
be a garbage man? Why he got to be a doctor? I'm tired. Everybody didn't grow up and want to be a doctor. Some people just, I'm gonna need him to be a landscape, a sculpture, somebody.
Well, we're gonna find out because Jack is gonna be showing up pretty soon. Is Jack showing up in any spoilers coming up next week?
None that I've seen.
No, I
Not
think
that
it's
I've
next
seen.
month.
No.
I don't think it's next week. I think it is in
No,
June though.
let's see. I only
June.
saw him in the summer preview stuff, but like in the day-to-day stuff that was posted, I didn't see Jack for next week. Next week is
Yeah.
all Steffi and her situation, Deacon, Brooke, and Carter and Quinn. Oh, and Lee, of course.
So
Okay.
next week is the last week for Steffi being on script, right?
I think so, regularly.
Right.
Because they have that. She says an emotional goodbye. So I think next week is on screen will be the official start of JMW's maternity leave.
Quinn told Paris to leave her alone. She told us, I didn't forget what you did.
But now,
Yes, it's about time they brought that up. That's another thing they plan in the history. Quinn clearly brought up the fact how Paris outed her at her vow renewal with Carter.
Mm-hmm.
So that was refreshing.
Exactly, because this whole bottom one, and I guess it's part of what bothers me the most about this entire situation with Paris and Zende. Because here's the thing, I like Zende, but Zende is not like my number one fave in what I would call second tier characters at this point. What bothers me the most about it is that on paper, no one, with the exception of what Quinn has said to Carter, no one views Paris as anything other than this sweet, nice, lovely woman, young lady with a bright future ahead of her who butter would melt in her mouth. Okay, that's how they all see her. But here's the thing, that's not what it is. We've seen it, and of course we've all thought back to what Zoe said and realized that obviously Zoe knew what the hell she was talking about. But that's like what happened today. Why did Paris come strutting in that office with all cylinders firing? Because she walked in that office just in time to hear Carter tell Quinn that she's everything a man would want. Sis was in her feelings. So it's like, well, honey, first of all, if you're going to chase after a man who's saying that to another woman who you already know ain't available, well, you done signed yourself up for some trouble. So good luck to you.
Right.
So you brought it on yourself.
Exactly. So she wouldn't let her pee on Carter's leg, basically.
She started with Quinn first. Now, I think Quinn got some
just
Carter
right.
gotta stop Quinn, because if Quinn go back to her old ways again, ain't nobody.
I'm gonna need that to happen. Because if Kimberly's gonna be on script, I'm gonna need some crazy on this script. And ain't nothing good but good crazy Quinn will fit my. Oh yeah, that would be good for the summertime.
100%.
She claimed that she's refined now. Man, you not refined. You still the old same Quinn. You just playing nice for Eric. But wait till you find out about Donna.
But this crazy Quinn may be doubled down and be scorned and crazy. I'm gonna need her to take out Paris.
But I want her to keep it together because I want her to take the house. I want her to take the house because nobody's ever challenged Eric for the house. Even when him and Stephanie got divorced, I think he let Stephanie just stay in the house because he moved into Brooke's house with her, I think. No, Brooke
put her in the beach house.
No.
He put Stephanie in the beach house.
That's right. She was at the beach house. How the hell you gonna put your ex-wife at the beach house?
At the beach house.
That's why he needs to lose this house, and he can stay at the beach house.
Yes.
He needs to lose this house finally.
I'm gonna tell you what I do want. If Steffi leaves the Cliff House, I'm gonna need her to move up into Forreston's mansion because it's rightfully hers. if she's the co-CEO and Eric wanted her to have that house, he told her when she was married to Wyatt, I want you to have this house and have your family in this house. It's time for her to move on up like Jeffersons. Come on now.
And then Thomas can move into the Cliff House because
Yes.
he needs a place to live. And Taylor can still stay there with him and then got changed with her situation. Unless Ridge still got some extra money left over and he want to buy her a house after he fool around and marry her before he leave her for Brooke again.
I got a feeling.
We know it's coming.
I got a feeling if Brooke gets divorced by, if she get divorced by Ridge, Deacon gonna be right behind her.
Deacon is right there now. What is you talking about?
He really gonna push, and then Ridge gonna have to find his way back.
Well, he gonna have to fight Deacon. I mean, Bill, because you know Bill about sitting up ready for to be available again. He ain't got nothing but the praises to sing of Brooke's name.
They need to hire new security at Steffi's house too, Steven. I'm with you. Don't nobody guard nothing. All these people live in gated communities, and everybody just walk right to the door.
It's been a long standing opinion ever since this Honeygate foolishness or Fitbit Gate, whatever the hell we calling this mess with Eric and Donna. Yes, that Eric needs to lose some serious assets for this bullshit.
Honeygate,
Fitbit Gate, whatever this is gonna be.
Oh Lord! I'm about tired of talking about Winnie the Pooh. I'm just ready. I'm over it. I'm done.
Winnie the Pooh in the horror movie.
I'm gonna need Justin to come back on script and gather his baby mama together and look. Stop! This is foolishness. Come on, stop now. You can do better than this.
Well, that's the price we have to pay to get quarter, though. It is what it is. We have to the honey lickers in order to get quarter.
Yeah, and that's the only reason I'm tolerating it, because Eric was never going to come out of this situation single. That's not possible. The show's not going to do that to him, which I understand why. So if Donna, if seeing Donna dribble honey or Eric's unmentionables is the price we have to pay to get Quinn free of this BS, so that she could get back in the saddle again with Carter, then so be it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I saw a spoiler picture of them, and they were playing peekaboo.
Don't put that on the screen. I don't want to see it.
Peekaboo, y'all.
We go from honey to peekaboo.
But they were playing peekaboo. Donna was standing behind Eric with her hands over his eyes. This probably be the scene we see coming up since he's going to reunion. But she had her hands over his eyes, and they was both grinning.
Spare me.
I know. You know what?
No tell, but Donna. Man, come on.
You would think, okay, this is your ex-wife, and you still meet her up in shabby makeshift hotel rooms. Like, come on. That is
that's how they did it before. They doing it again. They probably feel like they reliving their best years.
He loved being in this role too. Like, this is when he is doing his best drawings. He's got the most inspiration when he's been somebody's fool. Like, this is crazy.
Donna better go talk to Liam about how Quinn gonna go crazy on her again.
Yeah, they are too grown for peekaboo, Stephen, but I have to let y'all know that was a thing that y'all should prepare yourselves for, is Paw and the Barbie playing peekaboo.
So when Steffi comes back and Shin is reunited and everything is right in the world of Steffi and Finn, what's going to be the power play move for Forrester? Like, okay, by that time, Quinn may have started divorce proceedings against Eric. Now, do you guys think that she'll go for his percentage of the company and go like head to head with Steffi? And
she'll probably go for more than that. As long as she's been married to him, she's going for more than that.
And why wouldn't she? Why wouldn't she take
He
some?
done made a complete fool of her. Because here's the thing, Quinn didn't want nothing from him in the last round go round
Exactly.
because she felt like she was the one in the wrong. She basically took all the blame for the marriage falling to pieces even when she shouldn't have, in my opinion. But she wasn't trying to get nothing out of Eric at all. She was just ready to let him go about her business. But now,
Right.
guess what? I'm sorry. I'm something like Betty Wright, and you got papers on me. You gonna pay me to be free?
Yeah.
And
Get
then,
it.
you know what else?
She got a permission slip to back her up to. He done broke moral code up against with the company because somebody else. I forgot who it is. I think it may have been Ridge, where they violated the moral code of the company and he had to fire them or put them in international, whatever happened. But he did the same thing. But Quinn has an excuse for her. Hers is okay. Well, my husband gave me this permission slip, and he excused it. He offered this service to me. You know, I don't know what he was doing with Donna, so she had every grounds to pull that up and get all his percentage of this company.
See, but that's the thing. I don't even know if he would be able, because the thing is, one thing is this: it's about what people know and what they think. Okay, so let's look at this analytically regarding Carter and Quinn and Eric and Donna. I think when it comes right down to it, that if it came down to them having a fight in court about this, Quinn is going to have more definitive proof of Eric's bullshit than he ever would of hers. She gonna have Fitbit data proving how long this has been going on routinely. So if it came down to a fight about his assets, I think he would lose. So I think he might decide to just try to do a settlement with her and give her something or part of what she's asking for, just to keep it from having to go all the way to court. Because let's face it, Eric's lawyers aren't the best, since the last damn one I remember he had was up here hiding the fact that Stephanie owned the whole damn company. So yeah.
But don't forget that Quinn's jewelry is now a big part of what makes money for Forrester.
Yes.
So she's owed some stock, even if it ain't but 1% like Katie. She is owed stock because her jewelry line is one of the most successful things that Forrester has going for it right now. She don't even got to argue about the affairs. She can just say, listen, I just want what I'm due. I'm not even going to take half, which I'm due, because California's community property state. I just want 3 or 4%, just enough to be able to fuck up some boats when it comes down to it. That's all I want to be able to do.
And that's why I brought it up, because you know that is how Brooke got in. And since we are talking about some guy who loves rewrites, what if this rewrite is Eric's new wife, has the percentage, like, what is he, 32.5%?
So he 37.5, and he would
Same
have,
amount as
his
Stephanie.
is 18%. So if Eric lost half of his shares, he would lose 18% of his Forrester Creation stock. He would have 18, Quinn would have 18, Steffi would have 37, Ridge would have 20, and Thomas have 5.
I like the way you add. I like the way that sounds. And see, that percentage, like you said, can fuck up a whole lot of votes and everything.
Well, so right, because first off, if you break Eric's 37% down to half, it's only 18%. Steffi has 37.5%. She only needs what? How many percent she need, y'all?
12.5.
Yeah, so let's say 13% more stocks. So Quinn would definitely, if Quinn swung Steffi's way, those two together would have the majority shares, with Steffi's 37 and Quinn's 18. They'd have well over 50% of the stock.
Didn't Stephanie give Taylor something?
Taylor gave hers to Stephanie.
Right. Taylor bought the stock so she can give it to Stephanie.
And Ridge thought he was going to get it back.
37 plus 20 is 57 minus 2, 55. 55%.
If I'm adding correct, that's much more stock needed enough to get these Hogans up out of Forrester.
You only need 51% to get a Hogan out of Forrester. You only need 51% to get a Hogan out of Forrester. And since a Hogan don't own any stock, if Eric had to bust down and give Quinn half of his 37 to give her 18, Steffi and Quinn could overrun and overrule every single Forrester with a dick. Those two women would essentially run Forrester. Steffi with 37 and Quinn with 18. That's majority. Those
Steffi as
two
CEO,
could outvote everybody
Quinn as
else.
co-CEO,
And I
Thomas
like
as
those
VP.
odds.
So that's why it's very important for Eric to lose some stock, because I need somebody to vote with Steffi so Steffi can fire some bitches. Because you know
how
fired
petty
Steffi.
Eric is.
You remember
He will
Katie
keep
fired
half
Steffi from
his half of
Forrester?
the stock just to give it back to Brooke, or to divvy up between Brooke and Eric Jr. You know that's how petty he is. He'll just walk away and just divvy it up between them.
Well, he can't do nothing. If the courts take half of his stock, ain't nothing he can do.
California is a
18%
community
he
property
has
state.
left. He could take the 18 he have left and give Rick and Bridget some if he want to.
Yeah, because she did way more for this company than trying to figure out how to keep wrinkles up out of polyester. But
Oh no, you know what? He can too give that stuff to his kids before he divorces Quinn. I'm gonna
yes,
tell
he
you how.
could.
Because I
Yes,
learned
he
this
could.
from Chris, what Kim Kardashian's mama name? Kris Jenner.
Jenner.
So what he would do is, if he knows he wants to divorce Quinn and he wants to keep his assets from Quinn, he'll keep stringing her along. He'll give to his kids what he wants. He'll redo his will to divide up all his shit. Then he'll file because you have to have a certain date. Everything that happens after the date that you say that the marriage has dissolved, and that's the date that you put on the court papers, everything after that is untouchable by either party. Whatever happened before that date, that's the stuff that can be divided up. So if he had already divided it up and ain't got nothing before that date hits, then he won't have nothing to give Quinn.
So yes, all right. So I hear you. What you're saying is if Eric gave up some of his stock right now today before he files for divorce, yes, that would interrupt. But once that divorce is filed, you can't sell no damn property.
No, all of that stuff gets frozen. It gets locked down because for adjudication, and because they don't want people moving assets specifically for this reason. Right. So Quinn's not going to get everything, but I think depending on how pissed she is when she realizes how big of a fool Eric has been making of her, because let's be honest, this isn't just say what you want about Quarter and their first time affair. It was never done with the intent to hurt someone. It wasn't planned. It wasn't malicious. Everything Eric is doing now, it is all of that.
And they never laughed at Eric either. They never laughed at Eric. They felt bad about what they were doing. But Eric and Donna sitting there having little kiki giggle sessions over Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's so
texting each other and shit like they in high school.
If they let Quinn get everything she wants and she take that house and she go back and then Brooke be like, what's going on? Well, honey boo boo here is moving out.
You know what I want to see? I want to see Quinn get her half, and I want to see her put her ass on her shoulders at Forrester while that slut Donna is still answering phones and making damn coffee.
Oh, Donna,
hold on.
You have to give the job back.
Thank you for saying that, Sam, because remember, the spoiler, I wonder if that's what it is. Remember, there was that spoiler about Donna having a request. What if she asked for her job at Forrester back?
Mm-hmm. She better prepare to wear knee braces because Quinn gonna break her kneecap.
She gonna roll them knees over with a chair. She better watch out.
What she gonna do? Work the night shift because Quinn gonna work in the daytime.
Because that's what I've been trying to think. I've been trying to figure out what is Donna going to ask him for. I mean, she's not going to ask him to divorce Quinn. That's what logic would say. That she would say, I'm tired of being the other woman. I want you to upgrade me. So, you need to just get rid of your wife so I can be primary. But I don't think that's what it is. I think she may want her job at Forrester back.
And if he does do it, and she's in that day that Quinn comes in and sees her, oh, it's going down.
But you see, but the thing is, that is what would make it worse. And this is why. Because
Mm-hmm.
not only first, Eric would have to convince Quinn to, sign off on it, since the whole reason Donna was fired in the first place was because of her. And he would have to do it by completely and totally lying to her, saying, well, Quinn, the whole reason you wanted her gone was because you thought she was a threat to our marriage, etc., etc. And he gonna have to stand up there and tell more lies than a politician to sell that she doesn't have anything to worry about Donna, that they're okay, when we all know that he is screwing her at least once a week when he's supposed to be doing pickleball.
Well, he'll be stupid if he do that, because she'll get suspicious if both him and Donna start on Wednesdays at 2:00.
Exactly. But the thing is, one thing that this entire incident has made clear is that Eric is not a smart man.
No, he's not. He's not a business-minded man. He just know how to draw pretty dresses. Sorry.
And also, let's be honest, Donna don't have no poker face. One of the main reasons that this entire little scenario has managed to stay undercover all this time is because Donna has obviously been avoiding her sisters.
Yep.
So
she don't work at Forrester.
And that she's not working at Forrester because she's not. The thing is, Donna is going to give herself away. If she thinks her and Eric are alone, she ain't gonna be able to resist going, my honey bear, or doing something wildly inappropriate in that office where anybody can just walk in the door.
Just like when he answered the phone, laid up in the bed with her, she was right there,
Exactly. So she would be a fool to ask for her job back, and Eric would be a fool to give her it back. But they've proven they're not
Eric
smart
would be
people.
a bigger fool
He's
to
not
bring his whore to his office where his wife works at.
And
so if he does something, you going for me?
He's not gonna be able to juggle that.
But that's what would make it even more trifling, trashy, and delicious. Is that not only is he screwing Donna on the reg on Wednesday when he's supposed to be playing pickleball, he actually bought her back into the company to be directly in Quinn's face while he does it.
That's not if that scoundrel is that dumb to bring his whore to work day, then Quinn deserves to take everything.
That's what I mean. If we're gearing up for the possibility of Quinn going for his throat in a divorce, there's going to be a very good reason for that, aside from what we know. I mean, because here's the thing. I think that if it all plays out in the frame of what Quinn would think when she initially finds out that okay, he slept with Donna. I can't really act like I don't understand how you could fall in the bed with somebody else, because I did. When we had troubles before, I fell in bed with somebody else. So I can't really stand up here and say I don't understand how he could do this to me. But if you throw on top of that the fact that once she checks that Fitbit data and realizes that this has been a regular occurrence on a weekly basis, he go to see her more than he goes to see his doctor. He been going to see Donna like he go to church every week on time, same place. If she realizes, not only if she checks that Fitbit data, once she realizes what it really is, and she checks it back as far as when she gave him the ring, she's going to be counting how many times he didn't go to see that heifer, and then she's going to realize this was all going on before she even came back to the company, and he bought her back anyway and lied to me to get her back in the door too. Ooh.
Yeah. But see, this is typical Eric's behavior. He's checked out of the Forrester family. He's full blown Hogan. Like, has not gone to go see Steffi in the hospital, on the stretcher, on the way to the hospital, at home. He has not seen his supposed beloved granddaughter. He has not called. Did you see an episode when he called her or anything like that? So, but he got time to hold meetings, supposedly with Donna. He got time to talk and to go meet up with Brooke at the house. Come on now, he ain't daddy at this point. Like,
all he does is avoid his wife, chat up Brooke, and play pickleball with Donna.
Yes, he just full blown Hogan now.
I do want to see.
I do have a question though. So, ladies and gentlemen, I always ask myself, when I'm watching a story unfold and, I see what they putting before me. I always ask myself, because, they have an intention of what they're trying to get across. But we as individuals, we perceive that information through our own colored lens, through our own life and perspectives and experiences. But I always ask myself, what is their intent? How do they really want me to feel? Because they do want us to feel. They say it all the time. We know we're gonna outrage you. We know we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
make you cry. So they
Mm-hmm.
do want these emotions. I always ask, what do they want me to feel out of this storyline? So when this Eric and Donna foolishness, I can find it comic relief, but I can't take it seriously at all. Eric is too old to be doing this. Honestly, it's to me, it's really a bad look for the character, and it's just another bad look from last year's bad look of the ED story. With the pimp out note for Carter and Quinn. It was just a lot. And in this story is not going to do the character, in my opinion, much better either. I think I'm going to walk away from this looking at the character as less than a matriarch supposed to be.
A patriarch
It,
is not in this.
Oh
Is
yeah,
not.
you're right. I'm sorry. Exactly. A patriarch.
it all sounds like it sounds like Eric started to have some kind of, I don't know what the hell you call him. What the hell do you call a midlife crisis after you've passed midlife? Because Eric is past midlife. What is it after? What do you call it after that?
I think it's called insanity after that.
Tragedy.
Because whatever the hell this is something he's been going through. This is all part of the same story. Then whatever the hell he started going through around the time that this ED mess happened when him and Quinn were off screen, it has carried on into this all through the second half of last year and all into this mess that we're in now. That's all part of the same problem. Because think about it. Yes, we are used to Eric we were used to Eric as a hound dog in his younger years, but that was pretty much a mantle he had, shrugged off. Yeah, he always got his nose open for Brooke, and all he know how to do is lick her boots. But we used to that after all these years. If Eric being a Brooke sycophant bothers you, then you ain't been watching the show. You ain't been paying attention because he done been that way ever since he saw that happen. But he more or less, I thought he had outgrown the whole, skirt chasing part of his personality. Because, well, when you get older, that's not really something you need to do anymore. I mean, I'll be very honest. That's almost like Victor still chasing skirts in Genoa City, or Victor Curiosity chasing skirts in Salem.
But
You
wait,
be
Right.
like,
I feel like you might be a little bit disconnected from what goes on in the world. There are lots of rich old men that are with women
oh no, oh yeah,
to be
oh
their daughters. So I feel like it is kind of realistic for Eric to be this way, considering what he was like in his youth. He was a dog then. He's gonna still be a dog now. He just got a more age appropriate woman. He's not with some college girl, but Donna's still young enough to be his kid because he dated a mama. So, but I feel like it's appropriate. If this is who Eric is. He is the man who's always gonna cheat on his wife with some other woman. That's
So
who
if
he
that's
is.
well, it's
if
not
that's the
so.
case,
Oh, go ahead.
if that's the case, back to the story part of this. If that's the way they want us to view it, if that's what they want us to see, then they also should then expect that if they are serving us a dog ass man that's been a dog ass man all his life to all of his wives, and he's still dogging at 100 years old, they need to also show us the reality and the fact that that dog is going to lose half. That
Was
dog is going to have to pay alimony to that spouse that he dogged until she marries again. So if that is what they want us to see, that Eric is just a dog and now Donna's more age appropriate. He feels like it's Quinn's fault this time. If they feel like that's what they want to do, they're going to have to go all the way,
You
because I
know,
don't want to walk away from this with
well,
Eric
see,
smelling like
I
boots.
agree with you.
see,
I agree.
I do too. I want him to suffer the repercussions because, like you said, he hasn't. Like he dogging these wives and getting away with
Stealing
everything. Like
companies, literally stole Stephanie's whole company for decades from her.
yes,
Made her leave the family home where she birthed the children. What kind of man are you to make the woman leave the house after your adulteries?
and
Anywho,
it would be befitting that the woman that he has now makes him lose that house. Like she's the
that's
next
what I
best thing
want.
we got to Stephanie. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna need her to get all of the flowers that Stephanie was supposed to get. Get
and that's
all the dues that that's owed to Stephanie. Her and Steffi are owed that because he's indebted
blank in the
to her.
period. Right, and that's point blank in the period. Because if he gonna do that, if he gonna take Quinn back, tear up the divorce papers. Quinn had already a plan for her life. Quinn already had a plan for her life. Her and Carter had already made plans for the future when she went to Eric House to sign that divorce. He tore up that divorce. So he actually robbed Quinn of her future with Carter. For him to turn around and cheat on with that honey whore, I don't know
Right.
how appropriate it looks. Wife.
Sam, I think we're losing you a little bit.
Yeah, he wanted to have somebody on his arm because he didn't want to be alone. And
See,
now that he has Quinn, and now he wants to cheat on her, like that's like you
see,
said,
that's
that's
the thing. That's the thing. Is what Bubble said before is I agree with her and then I don't. Because yes, in real life, yes, men, these old men, they will go out here chasing women when they should be at home in bed. They'll barely be able to walk with a cane and be popping Levitra and Viagra just to keep it happening. In Eric's case, it's not so much that that he lost his ability to be a dog. It was that his focus was on not so much being a skirt chaser. His big concern for the last, I want to say at least 7 years, was that he didn't want to be alone, which was what his whole big thing was when everybody had all that beef with him falling for Quinn in the first place after all that mess that had happened with Adam and Eve in the cabin and all of that.
Oh Lord.
Was that he was like, I don't want to be kicking around the Forrester mansion by myself. Everybody else is settled in their lives. Brooke is with Ridge, and I know that's over with. I took a little run at Taylor for a while, but then that ended too. And Sheila was crazy as hell, and there ain't really been nobody in the regular rotation since Stephanie died. Like talking about. So he seemed like he had moved away from that whole part of himself. That was still part of him, but it seemed like his focus was more on, going into his twilight years with someone by his side. And then once this whole mess started between Quinn and Brooke over Shauna and Ridge, and then this ED crap popped up, it's like it flipped the switch and put him right back where he used to be. And being a barking dog, car chasing, mailman biting, scraggly ass hound dog. And so now he's right back doing the same stuff he was doing 10 plus years ago that it looked like I thought he had, stupidly, obviously, I thought he had outgrown it. Obviously he hadn't. And him having ED then brought him back to the worst part of his damn personality.
I really got a feeling when Quinn find out and he brings Donna back, she gonna be chasing her around that whole Foster Creations with a chair.
See, but that's the thing. Quinn is gonna be trying to control herself. That's the part that's going to make the denouncement of this even worse. Is that Quinn is going to know in her heart, left up to her own devices, she would knock Donna's ass down and step on her neck with her heels. Okay, that's what her impulse. That is what her impulse is going to be. But if Donna ends up working back at Forrester because that's what she wants from Eric, and Eric has to convince her to let Donna back in the door, she is going to be like, you know what? I'm trying to get my marriage to work. I'm trying to keep things on the right track. I can't be this jealous person, even though I don't trust this raggedy badass girl, and with her and whatnot. I can't be threatening to bust her kneecaps because Eric's not gonna like that. Quinn is gonna be spending way too much of her time trying to rein in what her instincts are telling her, which is that you need to cap that heifer over there because she ain't nothing but a problem. But she's gonna that's gonna make this all the more worse when the truth comes out, if it plays out like that. Because not only will Eric have completely played her, but she's gonna feel like she played herself, and she should have knocked that heifer out the first day she saw her back in the building.
And that's the thing. She might not get mad. Quinn might just be looking to go ahead and settle up a score business wise, but right off in the sunset with Carter, if she don't be too late, if he ain't already did the boo-boo the fool and hooked up with Paris.
Exactly. And that's good. That's what I meant when I said earlier that timing is everything, is that this is literally going to be a stars colliding story, because you're going to have Carter and Paris going to tie the knot before Quinn catches on to what Eric is really up to behind her back. Because it's like this, okay? You ever had an option to go to one or two places and you can't go to both because time will not allow you to be in both places? So you go ahead and pick place A, and then that falls through, and then you're mad as hell that you didn't go to place B in the first place. That is the kind of situation that Quinn may find herself in. That if Eric was so happy stooping Donna and getting rolled in honey every Wednesday, he could have just said that and let her go, and she could have went and got back with Carter, who she has real feelings for, that she suppresses to try to make her marriage work. Right. She's gonna be mad because it's gonna be like, I didn't miss my whole goddamn opportunity with this man because of you nasty old goat. And now that's
what will piss her off.
I'd be mad.
Her seeing Eric all hugged up with Donna is probably not gonna piss her off as much as if she is 1 second too late. If she pulls a Liam and get to the Eiffel Tower 4 minutes late and she see them walking off in the sunset, that's gonna piss her off, and that is what's going to bring back the original Quinn, possibly.
Exactly.
Like you said, timing is everything.
Exactly. And so what I'm hoping for, let's be honest, we all here for the drama for the most part. What I'm hoping for is that the timing of her busting Quinn and Eric is going to be right at the same time that Carter is about to make the mistake of his life and make Paris Mrs. Walton. Because let's be honest, Quinn, if I was Quinn, when I find out, because think about it. Remember they said that they had that scene that was on the beach?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know we had some, because hear me out. I know we've had this disagreement about where this entire affair with Eric and Donna is taking place, whether it's at a hotel or the beach club. I'm thinking that for whatever reason, Carter and Paris decided to get married on the beach. Okay, fine, whatever. But do you think they would have the audacity, by they, I mean Donna and Eric, to be getting up to some kind of funny before the ceremony and get busted by Quinn?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think Eric is going to be busted by that Fitbit. So that Fitbit is what's going to bust Eric, and it's coming sooner than later. Because when John did his Bold Live, he said that he was having the most fun of his career doing the scenes that he's filming now, and the resolution was going to be soon. And we all estimated early June on that.
Yeah.
So that's going to be. I don't think the Carter and Paris wedding is until deeper into the summer. So yeah, that brings up an interesting point, because we know that Paris and Carter will not be getting married if Eric and Quinn have already broken up. So this Paris and Carter wedding is going to be definitely before Quinn and Eric break up. So that
girl, Quinn is going to break up Paris's wedding.
That's what I mean.
But you can be here with Houston's running you in the background.
But see, I don't think Quinn would do that before she finds out that Eric cheating on her. I think
No,
while she think Eric is being faithful, I don't think she's going to do anything to Paris with Carter. She's
she
talking
won't.
to Carter. She's telling Carter, you know, her and Carter are talking like friends. Carter already told her he's not interested. So she'll probably go to Carter and be like, what you doing? You already told me you don't love this girl. But I don't think she's
See,
going to do
but
anything malicious.
but this is the thing. Part of Carter's issue, if Paris does not play the pregnancy card to seal the deal with him, that spoiler that's out for next week about Carter confessing to his love for Quinn. Part of his whole thing with Paris, from the looks of it, is gonna be throwing himself into that relationship to try to get past that. And if Carter is still at the point where his feelings for Quinn are so strong that he feels that he just can't help himself and he still confesses that he's in love with her, that puts Quinn in an awkward position of, one, I have real feelings with this man, but I'm trying to make my marriage work. I'm trying to do right. So I can't reciprocate that, and I can't really respond to that in the way I would if I was a single available woman. But on top of that, she's gonna have to balance the fact that she has real feelings with Carter, with how she's gonna talk to him about this Paris situation, because then it can't be 6 and 6 on one side and 12 on the other. She can't be like, Carter, you don't belong with Paris, knowing that Carter is still very much in love with her when she's not available for him and is not gonna make herself available for him. She can't do
That's
both
what
of
I
those
mean.
at the same time.
Exactly. She's not going to do anything like malicious like, but she can still counsel him. Just because we can't be together don't mean you got to go head first into somebody you know you don't want.
True, but Carter don't have no sense. He's proven that over the last year of
Yeah,
all
because
this
that's
gigolo.
exactly how he ended up back with Zoe after he
Yes.
was in the relationship with Quinn. He only went back with Zoe because Quinn
Mm-hmm.
basically told him to.
Exactly. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is that at least for drama's sake, what I was hoping it would be is that Quinn would catch Eric. It would finally put the pieces together and figure out what's going on with Eric and Donna, almost at exactly the same time that Carter is supposed to be marrying Paris. Because
That
remember,
would bring.
they said that there was a beach scene and that Quinn was on that beach. If that beach scene is them getting married and Quinn is on that beach, that means she's trying to break that damn show up because Eric is a dog and she knows it now.
What if Quinn finds out that Paris was faking the pregnancy?
That too, if she goes that route, if she decides to, because here's the thing, that's the thing about fake pregnancies and about fake sicknesses. Oh, I wanted to say this earlier when we were when that topic was on the floor, is that Paris having a mother who's a doctor is good, because the thing is, with a fake pregnancy, as Kristen DeMera proved, you got to produce a baby at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So she could either fake a pregnancy, but she would have to get pregnant really, really fast in order to make that lie stick. What the whole miscarriage? What the miscarriage thing?
She can pull a Brooke Logan. Brooke Logan's claimed she was pregnant from Ridge when she knew. And a baby never happened, and she claimed, I had a miscarriage
right after they got married.
Yeah, so she faked the pregnancy and faked the miscarriage.
She could, but for them to have her do that, I need them to take Paris a bit deeper down that darker road for her, because at this point,
because she is I'm gonna keep saying it. You gotta look at her through your rose-colored glasses that's from the valley. This is how the girls from the valley act. She is the new version of Brooke. She is the new version of Brooke. Brooke has done all this stuff that Paris is doing now. So her faking the pregnancy ain't nothing new for Brooke. She done it. This child Paris, I'm telling you, she gonna pull it and she gonna magically have a, God forbid, a miscarriage after she done got the ring.
Exactly. Yep. It don't take rocket science. I mean, men can be pretty dumb and dense.
She could.
They sell them on. I think they sell them on Amazon. Well, you can get them fake pregnancy tests and it be positive. She get that on Amazon and he believes it. He ain't gonna know it's hers.
Right.
Do y'all remember that time Sasha got that pregnant lady to
Yep.
give her pee?
I sure
Or
did.
she
Yeah,
told
she
her the
did.
toilet was
Remember that?
broke, don't flush it, and she stole the pee out the toilet.
Exactly. Yes. I remember
Now
that.
that would be impressive. Now that's the thing. It's like Paris is standing on the edge of a cliff where she hasn't really taken that definitive step towards being malicious with something that she's done. Up until now, she's been able to claim some level of innocence, some level of didn't mean to, some level of unintentional. But faking a pregnancy to get a man to marry you is very intentional. So I need her to take that step for her to be that character. I want to see it just because it'll give her behind something to do and make her a hell of a lot more interesting.
Yeah, because this is the most interesting she's been since she's been on the show. She's the way she,
Exactly.
came at Carter and Quinn today, and the way Quinn had to come back at her. She was enjoying being messy. So
Yes, she
I've
was.
never liked the character, but I could tell that Diamond was enjoying her role today.
That was taking her back to her Empire days. That's what
Must have
that
been
was.
because she was. I mean, literally, she was looking at Quinn, and she was giving her all that tood, and she had a grin on her face, like, "Yeah, I like to play these games." So if she like it, I love it.
Right, like she was releasing the crazy.
Hey,
Exactly.
it,
See,
and it was entertaining.
And
they
that's
they
always
rolling it
fun.
out.
That's
They are
always
rolling it
fun.
out.
And Quinn gonna slap the crazy out of him.
I
But
see.
that's
We'll
the
see. So they might. So Quinn
but they
might
was
have
both
to.
ready to go.
Quinn might have to damn near Paris, and she might have to choke her out because Paris is definitely giving off single white female vibes. I mean, she
Yes,
told
that's it.
Carter that she gets
Yes.
what she wants, and she's gonna make sure that they sleep together over and over and over again.
Yes.
And she
Zoe
keeps
gave everybody
coming
a
She's
heads
at
up.
gonna do
Quinn,
it around her cycle. She's gonna
right?
do
And
it
she
when it's
keeps coming at Quinn
appropriate for
crazy.
her.
She is
Zo-
giving us all the vibes of single white female,
That's
and
what that's
Carter
what
done
I
messed.
called it. Yes, yes. That's just crazy. Yes,
Carter
this
done
is
put the
just
whippersfield
crazy
on
time.
her. He
Michael
done put that
asked, he
baby
wondered
on
if
her.
Brad is getting ready to write Paris and Grace out. I don't think so, because here's why. They are not rushing the possibility of quarter right now. We all see it, but they're taking their time. And the only thing that's gonna stop quarter once Eric and Quinn are done is Paris. So I don't think Paris or Grace is going anywhere. At least not before the end of the summer. And that's
Neither.
gonna be, and you know what we said before, the summer, the season restarts at the like mid to end September. So no, they're gonna stick around for quite a few minutes, a couple of months to go, just because they need something to drag this out to keep Quinn and Carter from running back into each other's arms, and that's gonna be Paris. And the part that was
Yes.
even funny about today was this: is that I'm like, Paris, you up in this office, like making these insinuations and almost demanding answers, like Carter is your man when you know he already dropped you,
And she
but you.
already done told him. She done told him and she know how he feel about Quinn. So if you coming at somebody like that and you already know the situation and you still going for, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
that's why she is. That's why I agree that she is giving off the single white female vibes, because for just that reason. Because the thing is, she is not lacking any information.
No.
She knows the reason Carter is not looking twice at her is because his heart is still with Quinn. She knows that enough
And
that he exactly enough that
that's what
he
she
dropped her and
prefers.
dropped her hard.
It seems like that's what she prefers because this is her MO. Like I said from the beginning, all the guys that she has feelings for are guys who have an emotional attachment to another woman, preferably somebody that's in a relationship, aka Finn. She's sitting up there daydreaming about this man ripped muscles and his wife is in another room. Like, girl, now
Yes.
it's a crush, and then there's obsession. Like she was finna go hard. Yeah, it was time for her to move up out of that cliff house.
Huh?
Well, honey,
Even if she tried to make a move, Stephanie gonna bust upside the head. She got wild bottle in it.
Not just that, but also remember, she is thinking in her head, her logic is going like this. All I have to do is she's basically Steve Urkel. I'm weighing him down. That is her plan. Her her plan, because my thing is most women, if they knew another man was that deep into another woman, they
Yeah,
would be like, you know what, I ain't got no time for this. Not
yeah.
Paris.
It's a
Paris,
challenge for her.
exactly.
It's kind of like, oh yeah, this is a good challenge for me. I thought
Exactly.
I was gonna have a challenge with Zende, but he ain't no fun.
Because
Like,
technically, Quinn is completely out of Carter's reach as far as they know. So she figures all this is a waiting game. She just gotta stay persistent, stay in Carter's face, play on his libido. Because let's be honest, he's a man, and that's the easiest way to get him. And she can get what she wants. She's just set up. She's like, I'm gonna be persistent, and I'm gonna run him down like like a hound chases a fox. That is the
just
mode
how,
that she is in.
just
And y'all
like
know Zende's still in this
Eric,
now. Y'all don't
just
forget
like
about it.
Brooke did Eric when it came to Stephanie. That's the same. I'm weighing you down, like you said. She just used up. She put herself in that predicament the same way, and that's how she got Eric away from Stephanie.
Well, I can tell you that Zende still has a part to play in this. My main man Zende. Did anybody appreciate how Zende came in there and was manned up to Carter today? Was like, I wasn't gonna say anything, but I couldn't. And he told him about Paris. Was anybody impressed with my baby Zende?
I
Well,
was
I
I,
mean,
I don't know if impressed is
I
the
think
right word.
everybody was kind of distracted by the ensemble.
yeah, I don't even remember what he said, girl. I was looking at what he had on.
I was
That
impressed about
outfit was a
how well
sister.
manipulated he was because not only did I mean, because like I said, I got to give Paris her props. Not only did she manage to keep Zende as a friend by friend zoning him, she has turned him into an ardate a defender where he will defend her right to have a relationship with Carter.
And he literally did that when Carter was
Yeah.
like, I already told Zoe, I'm sorry, Paris, I wasn't interested. Why? Why aren't you interested in Paris? Is there another woman? Well, why aren't you interested in Paris then?
He was, and then Carter
Yeah,
look over at Quinn.
yeah. And then when Zende walked out, remember he said he's all yours.
Yep.
Yep. I tell y'all what, I can tell that y'all don't appreciate all that Zende has to offer, but I love Zende.
I mean, he all right, but I just don't get
First
into
of
it.
all,
And
first
then,
of
I
all,
don't
Sam, that is
dislike
not a
Zende.
personal dig. I appreciate the original Zende. Well, the second one, wrong. This one I haven't really been able to get into him and take his Zende approach.
I tell y'all, I love that goddamn Delon Metz. I do like him as Zende. Freaking Zende cracks me up all the damn time. I mean, even today, I mean, it was hilarious to me the way Zende came in there. He was all strong and manlike, but what he was fighting for was, Paris to, get the man she wants. So I don't know. I just love Zende. I just love Delon Metz's Zende. I absolutely loved Rome Flynn's Zende. But I
Yeah,
but I like Zende. I want him to get something good. I
he
wanted
doesn't
him.
seem very relaxed in the role, in my opinion. He seems very like he's still trying to find his footing, and he been playing Zende for almost a year, right? It'll
I
be a
think he's
year in
got his
July.
footing. To
it's
me,
been more than a year.
and he's
Has
got
it?
he's been here for 2 years. Him and Tanner came in at the same time.
Yeah.
That's even worse. It don't seem like he's comfortable in the role to me because I don't get like the seasoned veteran vibes like he's been acting for a while. So it seems like he's still fresh off the presses. Like I don't know. He
Maybe I like that. Maybe I like that about Zende. I like his character. He cracks me up.
I
I like his character so much.
I don't dislike him, but this born yesterday business he got going on is
yeah.
rolling me because I'm like, baby, sweetie, honey, what did Kristen and Tony not teach you nothing about these girls running game? Because
Well, he
Paris
know
is
about
running
game.
circles. Exactly, because Paris is running circles around him.
He should
And
know
you
about
know,
the
and he was the
games.
one running circles around the Avon girls.
All them games Antonio used to run around with Kristen. But anyway, I digress. So I don't.
I
He
just
is
Yes, I
feel
love
like
my
this
baby
is
Zende.
what Zende gets for the way that he was with, like Sam said, he ran through the Avon girls.
Yes,
So
he did.
All three of them.
yeah, so I don't feel bad for somebody getting over on his little stuff. And it's not like
Right.
I don't like him. I just want everybody to get a little bit of what they're due. Carter is due for Paris to be batshit crazy because he could have left her alone.
Right.
Um,
He the one kept dicking everybody down,
Well,
knowing he was a fool.
you can't blame him for that too much. I mean, he is like his uncle and his granddaddy running through all the Logans
And
except for
you
the one
and
or two.
I was about to get to his uncle and granddaddy too. I got something for everybody. Okay. So Eric's funky ass deserves to lose half of his shit because he could let Quinn go when she was gone. And Quinn deserves to have herself squashed a little bit because girl, you had escaped. You had gotten free of the madness. But you decided to let that man pull you back in and hold you hostage in a marriage. Did you see how he even kissed her today? That was the driest damn kiss in the history of kisses. It was so dry. I
Mm-hmm.
thought I saw damn flickers of fire about to start, and not in a good way. Like he don't even like just giving her a little peck on the cheek. He was really trying to avoid it.
And that's
Everybody
like,
deserves everything that they're getting because they all put themselves in the situation that they're in.
We can all thank Zoe though for telling Paris who she really is.
Ooh, child. So
This
Paris
right here,
was
Zende
going
was
home.
a dog. He was.
So you
She
know what we
was.
would get. We was talking about Paris and Sheila Carter hooking up when Paris wanted Finn. So that would be great if Paris ran into Sheila Carter and they got some stuff cracking and give us some real Days of Our Lives type activity. Where the villains all get together and
Oh, where the
raise hell
psychos
on
work
town.
together.
Oh yes, honey. Yes, I would love to see Paris hook up with another bad guy.
oh,
I
That
would
you
would
love
not
to
see.
be
see it.
bad. We just
I
don't
would
have
love to see
enough
it.
of
I
them
love
though.
bad girls getting together. You put two bad girls just trying to burn shit down. I don't care
Oh,
if they trying to burn down the church. I'm there for it. I'm gonna be cheering them
you
on.
mean like old school CJ and old school Rick? That type of bad boy.
Bad girls though. Bad girls. Bad girls. What you gonna do? Let Sheila in Paris if they're gonna raise some hell, and just like Sheila and Lee, y'all are we gonna be blessed enough to get a real Sheila and Lee knockdown drag act over
If
Finn?
it's happening in that jail, I don't know.
I
We
don't know.
need a real true knockdown drag out between Lee and Sheila over Finn.
Mm-hmm. It's been
I will say this much. If we don't get it in jail, it's coming. Because if those spring previews and what Tana said is any indication, Sheila is going to be it's basically going to be like this. Finn is going to be the son, and Sheila and Lee are going to be orbiting him for some time before the Sin reunion over the summer.
I'm
So,
not even sure if our reunion gonna be that quick. So they think our reunion gonna be this summer?
maybe
yeah,
by the end of the summer.
yeah, yeah. Yes, we have
Because
suffered long enough.
Maybe
Because
by the end
you
of the
know
summer.
what? Because if you think about it, if they're shooting in Europe, ain't nobody in Europe but Jackie. As much as we want to see the other people who have been ostracized to Europe, if they're shooting in Europe, that means that Jackie is already coming. Y'all see how old that damn baby is. She got over on us. She
I
probably
believe
shut
that.
Ben off when they told us, "Oh yeah, Jackie's still shooting." She was probably shooting the damn uh the baby's gender reveal because she was already off.
That
So
could have been her last day shooting. See, they try to be careful enough not to flat out lie to us. I mean,
right,
because
Well,
if she shot that day, she was still shooting.
Well,
exactly.
here's
Yeah.
something to think about. Here's something to think about because somebody posited this on Twitter, and I think there was a bit to it. And I think Amaya said the same thing too. Is that they say that Steffi goes to Europe? Okay, it is a known fact that people from The Young and the Restless and Bold and the Beautiful are going to go to the Monte Carlo Television Festival because both of the shows are really big in Monte Carlo. And remember, before pre-COVID and pre them being lazy, the people who would always go to the festival in Monte Carlo, we would always get location shoots around that time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I looked it up. This festival is supposed to take place between June 17th and the 21st. So that's next. That's almost like a little bit less than a month from now. So what are the chances that because they're already going to have stars over in Monte Carlo, unless they're going to be going to a whole different part of Europe, what are the chances that some of the scenes that we're supposed to see are going to get shot while they are over there for the festival?
She said that Jackie and Krista and TK they are going. That's what Amaya said.
So who's already on the list to go to the festival?
Jackie, Krista, and Thor.
TK.
Mm-hmm.
So then I wonder if Tanner is going to go because I'm hoping
That's what I just asked.
I want to get a destination reunion. I want to get a Paris reunion. Why can't we get a destination reunion for our ship?
That's what I said.
All those raggedy destination weddings for Steam.
I think we will.
Ooh,
I don't think they're gonna go to the trouble of saying that, you know, Steffi's gonna be in Europe recuperating while Finn is at home, you know, trying to, you know, get himself back in order just for us not. And Brad did say in that article in Soap Opera Digest that, you know, with COVID being less of an issue than it was previously, they're going back to doing location shoots, which I'll be honest, the show definitely needs.
And Sam, I heard you say Steam. I put that out there like that. You know that hurt my feelings.
Oh, wait a minute, King.
Don't. Yes, look, this is what I want to talk to you guys about. Okay, I just want to say this and I'll make my peace with it. We all are Steffi fans. We got to get out of this. Oh, well, if you a Steel fan, then you ain't no real Steffi fan. If you a Steam fan, you ain't no real Steffi. We love the character. I need us to get out of that and just love the fact that she happy now and she happy in this relationship with Stan. That's fine. But don't shit on everybody else who want, you know, her to be back with Bill, be back with Liam. That is craziness to me.
She can stay away from Liam.
I mean, I'll be honest. I don't care for the ships of Steel or Steam, but I got no static for the people who still ship. People don't like what they like.
I got look. Kenny is fine with me, and everybody know Kenny is a die-hard Steel fan. I'm not finna, you know, drag him because that's who he likes. Like, I will always support who I've always liked. You know, I like the history of it. That's fine. I'm not going to say I don't. But right now, I'm a Sin fan. I'm a Sin fan. I like who I like. And if you're going to drag me about it, come with it. You know what I mean? It's just crazy.
I will drag the pairing, but I won't drag people for liking them. I will drag the pairing. Yes, I will drag the pairing, but no, I'm not going to drag the fans that support them. That's a completely different thing.
But some of these fans don't know the difference for real, and that's where the problem comes in because, and then the hatred is just so.
It's
them hope fans.
Put the hate in the air with the darn knife. Like I don't get it. I like the characters. I don't like the pairing of Steffi and Liam anymore since he left her on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to even accept her with Bill, even though he stalked her and tried to ruin her life. I would accept that if he apologized the right way, because I still don't feel like he apologized to her the right way. But I would never go. I mean, I wouldn't attack people. I see that stuff, and I just think
it is.
Like Amaya said, it's very immature. Like Amaya just said, it's very immature, and I totally agree. All of us, most of us, because there are some like teenagers mixed in with these new fans that's coming on board. But most of us who are like generational decade fans, we grown. We've been grown. Why can't we act like it? Like this bring out the childishness in a whole lot of women. I'm gonna say it, and a whole lot of these men fans, and that is sad. Like, don't act like you wasn't supporting Steam when they were hot, and don't act like you
And
didn't like when Steffi was sitting up there telling Katie off about Bill. Like
So
at some point, you like these couples.
and
Okay, you
that's
don't
my
like them
thing.
now. That's fine.
right.
I don't like Steele because I don't like the fact that the chance that he got to get with her, he basically emotionally raped her. So I'm not finna sit up there and down you because that's who you still support.
Oh no, and see, and that's my thing. I can't really have static for people who still like Steam because I know damn well I used to like them once upon a time. So I'm not gonna pretend that I don't see what the appeal is that they probably still see there that I don't. I may
Exactly.
not like the parent, but as far as I'm concerned, it's like this. Everybody's gonna ship what the hell they want to ship. And
Exactly.
people should be able to ship what they want in peace for the most part. Now, the only place where things get problematic inside the fandom, at least for Steffi fans, is that people blame the wrong shit for why their pairing has not happened. That happens sometimes, and when that happens, that's when stuff really turns ugly. Because the fact of the matter is, it is not Steam or Sin's fault that Bell been playing in the Still fans' faces for years.
Yeah.
That is what he has been doing them. He has been baiting them. He has been flat out lying to them. He has done all manner of things that I don't really think he should have did. If you're not gonna give people the shit that they want, don't just don't play with them like that. Like we all saw the last time Bell gave an interview talking about how Bill was gonna be there for Steffi. Bill ain't seen Steffi's shadow. Okay, and I don't see that happening because that's not gonna happen because why? Steffi's about to take herself off to Europe, and
Right.
Bill's going to be stateside. So that's
Eric. He done pulled the Eric. He getting all
exactly,
his
it's bait.
from somebody else.
Exactly. It's bait that he throws out there, like you throw chum in shark infested water so he can watch the fish squabble about it. So the thing is that no, you should not down, in my opinion, you should not down people for shipping what they want to ship, but you can't blame other ships for why your ship isn't sailing. That's on the writers.
Amen. Put a pin in that. I like that. That's exactly the truth. Yes. Just because your ship ain't selling, don't be mad because everybody that ship is hot now.
Oh, Sam, wait.
Yep.
Bubbles and Sam said, "Let me in." Is she on the screen twice? She's still kicked out.
I keep doing that. It keeps happening.
Girl, you up in here three
Now
times.
I'm in there 3
I'm
times.
sitting on my
So
screen.
now I'm in there 3 times. Yeah, I'm using it on my phone. Yeah, I keep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Girl,
yeah,
you
so
on
this is the
3
thing.
times.
Exactly. I'm in 3 times. So now this is the thing. Just like shipping, like we all got our preferences on who we ship and why. We also are sometimes opposed to ships. Personally, I am very much opposed to Steam myself. I don't take personal issue with anyone that does ship Steam because I used to ship Steam. That would be really crazy. Right? I used to ship Steam. So no, I don't take issue with anybody that ships Steam, but if I do speak negatively about Steam, just know that that's just my opinion about Steam and not the person or people that actually ships.
Right. And that's the line that I don't like people to cross. Like, stop blaring the lines and making it personal. These are fictional characters. These characters are not going to change your real life. So why are you making yourself look so foolish to incite fighting and saying hateful words to actual people that are on the other side of the keyboard? Like, that
So I
needs
don't
to
think that
stop.
we have that issue here. I don't think we have that issue here.
No, we don't. Everybody
No. The only reason why I brought that up
here.
is because I'm throwing names out because I don't know how to talk unless I do. And this is factual. Like, I seen one of my good girlfriends have it out with Gracie. and I didn't like it. You know, I talked to her about it in our personal group, and I said something to her. I made sure that I said something because just like her, whenever I have said something out of pocket or done something, she'll check me. So my thing is, you can't make that person change their mind because you see something different. Everybody is not meant to see everything the same way. That's
Okay,
their
so Candy,
freedom.
this is my question.
Hmm.
Is that an issue in this room?
No, no, no,
Okay.
no, and I love that. No, I just wanted to say that because, like I said, it was on my mind because I've seen it just before I came into the room.
Soap Twitter would get along a lot better if people just learned to scroll past they didn't agree with. I swear. You would think
Yeah,
everybody would have that part of the drill down at this point.
Every t-
Everybody's
every, every time a Steam fan says something like, "Oh, Steffi deserves to be with Liam," here come a whole fan talking about, "Oh, no, Hope deserves to be first because she was always with him." It's just like, shut
I
up.
stand back from that mess. I'm like, you know what, y'all go do that. I'm gonna just go get the popcorn and just watch it because that's not at this stage in the game. That is not an argument worth having on either side.
and she
It
got
just
all of
isn't.
her demand.
Not
She
for the
can have
whole
the
fans
whole
and
man.
not for the Steffi fans. It's like y'all. If we gonna still be doing this, okay, well y'all go ahead. I'm gonna just watch.
At this point, it's like what came first, the chicken or the egg? And do we care?
No,
If I'm
because
not
I'm still
mistaken,
gonna have my egg sandwich
if
at
Just
the
I'm
end
make
of
not
me
it.
something to eat.
if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken, Steffi was the one who fell in love with Liam after he saved her from drowning. He ended up falling in love with her
That
too. He
damn
just didn't.
bump in the head.
He just didn't want to impress his feelings to her.
I've
Not
been mad
yet.
at that. I've been
Child,
mad at that
that
bathtub in
boy
my
has been
apartment for
using
years.
Steffi. That boy has been using Steffi from day one. That boy was engaged to Hope and watching Steffi lingerie ads on his computer at work because
Thanks
he
to
was
beating her.
See,
couldn't have because he wasn't having sex. So this
see,
boy
and
has been basically using Steffi from the moment he met her. So I
that's the
can't
thing.
agree with this fall in love part. You know, at
Um,
some point there was a so-called love story, but it's just
part of the thing about Steam, and I can't speak for Still because I liked Still, but I never really shipped it. But I liked the chemistry that was there. But for Steam, I shipped that from like day one. One of the things that is, and I think this probably applies to some people who probably used to ship, who were Hope fans, who used to ship Lope, who don't ship it as much as they used to, is that Amaya's right. Brad Bell likes to get people outraged. It's the whole reason he got Brooke and Taylor daughters, and that he had them in opposition of each other over a damn man in the first place, because he knows that rivalry is the bread and butter of his show at this point. Okay. He knows that is what the show lives on for a lot of it. And I think all this time later, after not being a Steam fan anymore, when I look back at some of the big formative moments in their relationship, I can see the love, but I also see the toxicity. And
Right.
that's why it doesn't appeal to me, aside from all the other stuff that's happened since then. But that's why it doesn't appeal to me, because I'm looking at it through a completely different perspective of how I looked at it when it originally went down.
I would say this, if I'm allowed to say it.
Mhm.
All of Steffi's relationships before then has been toxic one way or another, except for her first one with Marcus. We can all agree to that.
That's
Yep.
true.
yes,
Yep.
I agree.
Yep, that's true.
I
Okay,
agree.
so that shows the growth in the character. And that's why I say I respect all the relationships, because it made the character grow into a much better woman. So, just like in a real relationship, what you took from your ex, you're not going to take from your new boyfriend, your next man, until you find your husband. So, it's like what she was looking for
So it's like
from
Steam was just practice.
was Sting,
Steam was
Still,
practice.
Marcus, even Rick were all practice. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? They were all
Exactly.
practice, but it don't mean that they can't double back if that man change and do better by himself and redeem himself
Well,
to be.
yeah.
And
Well,
that's the thing.
maybe
This is a
maybe he
soap.
can redeem himself for a halfway decent. Maybe he can redeem himself for someone else. But Steffi
Yeah,
already now has someone that literally gave
yes,
his life for her, and Liam can't
right.
keep his dick in his pants for her. So
Right, and
I'm
he
glad
can
you got
maybe
her
he can
practice with
redeem
Liam.
himself for Hope because that's his wife now. Cause how he acting right now, he's still acting like Liam from 4 or 5 years ago.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
exactly my
He's
point.
still choosing to be the hero for somebody other than his wife.
That's
So
my point.
yeah,
So why do we need to wait on him to grow up? Steffi has
we ain't
already
waiting
grown
on him.
up. She's
No,
already
we're
Hell
married
not.
a
no.
man.
No, but that's somebody posted it. I think it was somebody posted something that made a whole lot of sense today. But they were speaking. Basically, they were talking about the whole virgining, Spirina Rowena triangle on GH, and she basically made a comparison about why that potential love triangle works, and why things like Bridge Taylor and Ridge don't. It's because Bold and the Beautiful has this really nasty bad habit of pick me syndrome. Whenever we have love triangles, it's some unworthy ass man with
Yeah.
two women who have eaten pick me, who've just overdosed on pick me food, just standing there waiting for this idiot to figure out what the hell he wants and bless one of them with his presence. Okay, when in reality, somebody who's hot, rich, living their best life is going to go and find themselves another option, or another option is going to find them. Like
Right.
case in point, the fact that the story that are on both sides of this, and I'm not
Yeah.
even a Hope
I
fan,
just
I still think
yeah. So
it's ludicrous that Steffi supposedly didn't have no involvement with nobody while she was off screen in Paris, and Hope was in Italy doing jack all. They was just pining over Liam the whole time.
No, Hope said she had a boyfriend, but it wasn't really nothing. She did say she have a boy, and so did Steffi. She said she had, you know, entertained like some, but they weren't a relationship status. They both said that. But I agree, like the whole thing is like to make these women who have these careers and other things outside that make them much more than just like you said, the pick me syndrome, like it's ludicrous. And I would have to agree with that. But at the same time though, you know, everybody has gone through that. Like you got to grow. You don't automatically come out the womb knowing exactly how to handle
Right.
yourself and become
Yeah.
in a relationship.
Right. And you evolve. That's what, at least that's what's supposed to happen in real life, but that's also what's supposed to happen with soap characters to a point. So
Mhm.
every ship that I back, I'm not under any delusions of the fact that that ship, it may not sink, but it's gonna get derailed at some point, because this is a 5 day a week daily serial. So couples get together, they have fantastic relationships, they have great romances, and they also break up. So no, because first of all, one, being perpetually nonstop happy and conflict free gets you on the back burner. That's the first thing. Okay, because nobody wants to see a couple that's 100% happy and doesn't have any problems, but they need problems that are other than just romantic issues with a third
Yes,
party. Though.
yes,
That's
yes,
that's one of the problems that Bowl has had over the years, of not being able to incorporate
yes.
problems that aren't
I was
romance
gonna say
based
the same
into their couples who are settled together. But I know that black can become white, up may become down. Anything can happen down the road and in the future. And when it happens, we have to deal with it. But for now,
yes.
it looks like we're going to have a summer of sin, at least as far as them getting together. But what happens in the fall, winter, in the spring, we don't know. Brad Bell probably don't even know yet, but it's going to be whatever the hell it's going to be.
I'm for
Well,
it.
I'm
I'm for
looking forward.
yeah. I'm looking forward to a Stan reunion.
Right. In the meantime, I just want to enjoy whatever it is that we're getting, because we've wanted it for so long with them since they got together. So it looks like we're going to get it. Also, as Amaya said, I am thrilled at the prospect of them trying to give Elope something to do that's not a triangle, because they desperately need that. They need a story that is not built around a third party screwing up their star-crossed lovers BS. I am sick of that for them. And it's one of the reasons I've had so little patience with them over the years. Is that if that's your only story, you don't have a story.
They too old to be
Right.
star lovers anymore. Now
It,
it's just all back down to destiny, like her mama.
exactly. They grown,
Oh
they
no,
married,
Lope
they
is
have a
not
child.
destiny.
Damn.
Lope is
Come
meant
on.
to be. That's
Give
destiny
them
is
something
bridge,
else
and,
to
and,
do.
and Lope is meant to be.
Right, love is meant to be. She's absolutely right. That's how that works. Now, on that note, it's 9 o'clock exactly on the dot.
Yep.
All right.
So I think we're gonna be done for tonight, unless y'all want to keep talking, because it is Friday. Anybody got
It
to
is
go to work
Friday. I just thought
tomorrow?
about that. Who working tomorrow? Darlene?
Nah.
Well,
9 to 5 day week warrior.
I
We're gonna
just got clients.
sleep over. I can talk as long as my phone hold up.
Same. We going in overtime?
I guess so. If don't nobody got no
Let's give ourselves at least a half hour overtime.
okay.
Yes, because I ain't got nothing to do. Because I could
All
definitely
right.
spend a half hour talking about sin.
There's actually a ton to talk about because we dipped in. We've covered today's show and we've covered what we liked, what we didn't like, what we predict. But there was a lot. I went back and read some more about what they said about the spoilers for the summer preview. And okay, so let's go with the knee jerk reaction. Is Belle just screwing with us about Thomas and about Bill? Yes or no?
I
If
think he's
he is
about
giving
Thomas. For sure.
Thomas and Bill another relationship, please let.
Bill's gonna have, but Bill's spoiler was actually very interesting and intriguing. It said that Bill was going to be at the right place at the right time with his charm, and he's going to capitalize on it, almost like it could be even a business thing. So Bill's looks pretty interesting,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. Who was the other one? Thomas. I
The
think he's
other one,
bullshitting. I don't
they
think Thomas
actually
is no good.
flat out said, now this is the thing though, because that's the thing about Bell, is that he do lie to us. And he does it on a regular basis. Okay. So like I said, like how he always be trying to put Steffi name next to Bill's and he don't even see her shadow. He
He
does
don't
that.
even see her shadow. Right. He can't even see her figure form through the glass on the door because he didn't even get close enough. He didn't even get near the door.
Right. So when the preview came out that said that Thomas was going to actually have a romance this summer, it says specifically that Thomas is going to find love this summer, and maybe it's the kind of love that can take him to the next level.
Right.
So my
That just
thing
means
is,
he's gonna be ambidextrous.
So
I think
I don't know about Thomas.
I think Thomas gonna find love with God. He gonna find his relationship with a higher power.
First of all, I'm very scared of his idea of Thomas in a relationship because the last time he gave him one, it was a mannequin.
yep, me
So,
and Paris.
and
Me and Paris.
I don't trust his idea of relationship romance when it comes to Thomas. I'm scared of that. And when it comes to Bill, it's like, okay, who has he been with since Katie?
We'll see,
So
but
Right. You know what?
I
That's so
look
pathetic too. That
yeah,
Katie
but you know,
situation.
yeah, but that's the thing. Katie wasn't anywhere in there, so I don't even know when we gonna ever see her the time again. And we already know Deacon has some sort of romance that's supposed to happen to him. But I strongly feel that whatever is gonna go on with Deacon or Bill is gonna play somewhat into this situation of who the hell Ridge decides he wants to be with. Whoever the odd woman out is the one who gonna end up mixing it up with one of them.
And I
Yep.
think it's going to be Bill. I think it's going to be Bill because Bill's was very interesting. It's like Bill is going to be at the right place at the right time, and his charm is going to kick in. So whoever was rejected is going to get to lay their head on Bill's big, strong, sexy shoulders, Hunty. And if they get lucky, he might put their legs up that night because Hunty and Dollar Bill,
I wouldn't be
listen,
mad at him. I
at
mean,
all.
really.
At the heels of rejection from the dressmaker, because Ridge is a pompous ass. I can only take Ridge when he is with Steffi and literally with Taylor. Other than that, I can't stand him.
and that's
So
sad if that's the case. Like they done dwindled Bill character down to the point where he picking up Ridge's scraps. Like that is so bad.
Right,
That
because Katie, like you said, Katie's not even mentioned because we know her show got
Mm,
canceled, but she hasn't been mentioned at all in the summer. She might roll around in the fall, but if she does roll
exactly.
around, it's going to be after Bill and started a new relationship with somebody else. Hopefully, it is Taylor. I wouldn't
Well,
mind.
and I'm not mad about that because look, it's like this. First of all, I think baited and then run its course. And if 2 years of begging don't do it, then you know what? It's okay. Go
It's
ahead.
been more
It's
than
all
two
right.
years too.
It's
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 actually
okay to
been
move
more
on.
than 2 years
I'll
of
take
Bill
Taylor.
trying to
I'll
win
take
Katie
Taylor
back.
being with Bill before Deacon.
So hasn't Bill been trying to win Katie back ever since she left Thorn?
Well, that's the thing. He got her back. That's the thing. Okay. So he's been trying to win her back ever since Thorne gave Katie divorce papers for New Year's Eve, which I still find that's still hilarious. That is one hell of a New Year's Eve gift to give somebody, damn divorce papers or annulment papers, whatever they did. And then he wanted to get back together with her, and he did get her back. They got back together. But then all of that got blown apart when
Got kissed in the
Quinn
shed. Right.
put that picture of them kissing in that damn frame and blew that mess up alive at five in front of everybody and their mama. And he been
Mhm.
begging her back, begging to get her back ever since that. That was a while ago.
Right.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was classic.
I mean, well, and so my thing is that yes, Bill is long overdue for a romance with somebody else. I would prefer that it was not Brooke, preferably because Bill, when Bill's with Brooke, his brain rots. Okay, any sense he has goes right out the window.
But you know what? It could be a bromance. It could be he might be getting his friendship back with Justin.
That would be great.
I
Cause
don't. It would be great, but it would be so unlike Bill. Bill does not do forgiveness like that.
are
But he
you
will
kidding?
forgive Justin. Justin and Bill is the
Not with
only one.
Justin.
Right.
Justin
Justin.
has
So
never done anything, but
right.
No,
we're
but you remember how Bill was dragging for Justin when he realized what he was up to. He
Yeah.
basically said
yeah,
Justin.
but
He
he's
was up there
running
like
Brooke
Julius
too.
Caesar. He was up there. Bill was up there like he was Julius Caesar, and Justin new name was Brutus, and he stabbed him on the Senate floor.
He
Because I
dragged
guess it's
Brooke
because he
too,
was
and he's
hurt.
been kissing the ring ever since. Like that. That's so up
Justin
and down with
Justin
him.
holds a Justin holds a special place in Bill's heart. Justin is his boy. Y'all just don't know. Justin and Bill's relationship runs deeper
I get
than
it.
what
I remember. I got it.
it appears. They have done a lot of dirt. These two have a relationship that goes back years.
Sam, you're cutting in and
This
out.
dude was
I don't know
with my
which one.
road.
So she,
Yeah, you are
It's
cutting
probably
in
because
and
I've been
out.
there 3 times.
yeah.
Probably been there 3 times.
I'm gonna remove. I might end up removing the one that you're talking on, but if I do come back, but let's see if we can fix
Okay.
that by taking some of these out. If it
Try
The
it.
listens.
one that's next to me is the
Try it.
only one that's flashing.
So I'm still in, right?
Hold.
Now
Wait.
I'm in there 3 times now.
Hold
You
on.
put me
This
back
one.
in.
Hold on now. I think
I'm I'm still here.
I know. Hold on now. Okay, you still with us,
I think
Sam?
I think you eliminated the wrong Sam.
Uh-oh. Well,
I'm sorry.
it don't tell me
It's
the
not funny, but
it don't tell me the order. So um, but just random.
well, well,
Man,
this was an important lesson. If I ever have to, Bubbles, if we ever have to ask you to differentiate between identical versions of ourselves, just whatever one you pick, just go ahead and eliminate the other one.
But the
right.
one that was always talking next to me was the one that was flashing.
But
Um,
so my on my panel, you guys are little boxes on the bottom of the screen. And even the
Oh,
way that you appear on the screen is different based on how I click it. So
oh, I see. I see.
I
Yeah,
see. Do we vibe? Do because I know when we talk that um I like the vibrations from my mic. It kind of has like a white aura going out from my icons. Does that show up for you too?
that's on the computer screen, but on the control part where I select the people to delete or to mute, it doesn't differentiate who's talking when she's back. It doesn't
Oh,
show me which is which.
perfect.
And now she's back, and it sounds much better.
Yes, that was so. Yeah, my laptop is raggedy, so I got to use the phone.
Oh, okay.
That's fine, girl. I have raggedy laptops and raggedy phones.
So we was talking about dollar bills, sexy behind,
Mhm.
right?
Holla, holla.
So listen, Krista Allen is so fucking fly. I would love to see her and Don Diamond mixing it up on town. Get dressed up one day, cleaned. I mean, all the way cleaned on the Spencer jet. I'm here for it.
You know what I would love to see? I would love to see them resurrect Pierre's, and he take her to
Yes.
Pierre. That
Well,
would be good.
we need some other in town places for these people to go. Period. Because first of all, one Il Giardino is cursed after this
It's
shoot
done.
business.
It's
But
done.
listen, guys, do y'all think our new doctor is going to be James? James?
I don't
No,
think so
no, I
because
think
I
Amaya said
googled
it's
the
gonna be.
name.
Hmm?
It's
I think Amaya said it's gonna be the guy that was already in a flashback that Lee had.
Yeah, that
Oh,
well,
okay.
doctor was helping. That
well,
told her there was no chance.
I took the liberty while we were on here of googling the guy's name, and he apparently is a fairly regular a day player on a lot of stuff. So like he's been on pretty much every soap. A guy, his name was Ruben. Is it Grundy? Yeah, Ruben Grundy. So he has. I went and pulled up his IMDb, and he has been on pretty much every like major television show in a minor role for years. Like he's been on Grays, he's been on Bold before. He's been on General Hospital. He's been on Young and the Restless. He's been everywhere. He's been on Jane the Virgin. So he pretty much works pretty consistently. But usually his roles are like really short term extra roles that only last a couple of episodes. So we've seen this man before in the background because Bold and the Beautiful was already on his CV from like, and they had like 6 different names next to the character he played. So he's been on the show before.
So you know what they're going to do? Remember, he was the attending physician. The attending physician is supposed to call the time of death for the death certificate.
Mhm.
And what he did is he told Lee, you see, there's nothing else we can do. So he
Mm-hmm.
left her alone, and what she was supposed to do is, go ahead and sign over for them to go ahead and unplug. Instead, she smuggled him out. So when Steffi goes snooping around, or when somebody goes snooping around, it might be Sheila. Because remember, Steffi's going to be in Paris. So
Mhm.
maybe, what is that? Do y'all hear music?
Yes,
I do.
Where's
it
it coming
sounds
from?
like carousel music.
It sounds like what?
Carousel.
I thought somebody was meditating.
Yeah, it's weird. But anywho,
There's music in my background in the other room because I'm trying to drown out the barking dog, but it's been on the whole time, so it's weird that
okay,
y'all just hearing it.
we just
Probably
probably
because
got crystal
let's be
clear
honest,
audio.
we all got big mouths. That's probably why we didn't hear it
Hmm.
before now.
Exactly. I
They
forgot what I
have
was even talking about.
they have a YouTube channel for dogs that's supposed to relax them. And you guys, I don't mean to hijack the conversation. I'm gonna be real
Oh, I
serious.
forgot about it too. But we were talking about the death certificate. So the doctor that's coming on is going to be. It was supposed to be the one to sign the death certificate. So who's snooping around if Steffi is in Paris? Who's sniffing around in early June?
Liam
Where
ain't got nothing else to do. And he gotta find a way to just talk that have a reason to talk
You
to
know,
Stephanie.
you
who?
know he
Probably
might.
Jack.
Leah. Oh my God! Stop it.
Stephanie
Either
talk quiet.
either Liam or Jack if he comes back. Because I mean, let's be honest, if he's been off screen all this time, because the previews did say that Jack would be back on scene. I mean, I would have if I was Jack, I'd have some questions because Lee
You
took
know he
care of
probably.
everything.
You know the doctor's probably gonna make a phone call because it seems like that's her colleague. So he's probably gonna call Jack saying that I can't get a hold to Lee. Where is she? Like, where's Finn? Like, what happened? Like, they were there 1 minute and I turned around, they were gone. So it might
That's what we
be
think
Jack
we
like
saw.
that.
It's probably Jack, because if the doctor is showing up, when is that spoiler with the new Jack? Oh, it was
Well,
on Marco's page.
he was in. Well, Marco posted the screenshot of it. He was listed in today's closing credits. So that means that he must be show. You know, they shoot a bunch of episodes at one time. So that means we should be seeing whoever this person is in the earlier half of next week, I would think.
I would imagine. Yeah. So hopefully we do see Jack that soon. So either Lee, so definitely Lee is going to have to communicate with this individual, and possibly Jack. So Captain Kumquat will not probably, hopefully, not be snooping around, looking around for Finn. I do not need Liam. Well, hey, I wouldn't be mad if Liam helped Steffi reunite with Finn.
No, me neither. No, I think that his interest, or at least his need to focus on the topic, will go down once Steffi and the kids are no longer even in California. Because I would find it really odd for him to be poking into that once Steffi has already packed herself off, to go do her healing or whatever
Exactly.
on the continent.
Exactly. We can leave that to Lee and Jack, or Sheila and Jack. Sheila and Jack, because because Tanner has already let it be known that Sheila is going to be out wreaking havoc. So she's getting out, and she's going to be trying to get near Finn. Even Bale said that Sheila's going to be trying to get near Finn. Remember?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Sheila's getting out. So we might get Finn waking up and everybody knowing. So we already agreed that we're not going to have Tanner laying in that bed too many more days on screen for us to watch.
Right.
So we expected him. Exactly. But now I'm also expecting Sheila to be getting out sooner as well. It seems like the pace of the storytelling has goddamn improved so much.
Mm-hmm.
Things are happening so quick that we're literally saying it's going to be happening sooner than we thought.
Yeah,
I really didn't think we were going to see Tanner this soon.
I didn't either.
I
thought that we would get a clue that he was alive, because I've been watching just to get a clue that Finn was alive. But we got, not only was he alive, we got him, we got dramatic music, we got the slow camera rolling up to his handsome face. Whoo!
Oh, that was so good. Wasn't that good?
We were
that was
fed,
good
honey.
TV.
Yes. So this is what it feels like to be at the head of the table?
I suppose, yeah.
I don't know how to act.
Well, part of it is that we have gotten used to, as fans of a show, of Belle being consistently disappointing in these matters.
Yes.
Because, I mean, let's be honest, over the last, even if I just count the last 3 or 4 years, the fans on Soap Twitter have written better storylines than what the hell them played out. The only storyline that they didn't play out that played out that I liked and was unexpected was Quarter. That was it. Everything else was pretty much standard regulation and didn't have a whole lot of imagination or sense to it. One of the two.
And tell the truth, the Carter story wasn't even that great. We just loved the outcome. We loved the together scenes, but there was a lot of repetitive dialogue. There was a lot of crap during that. But it's been completely different now. We're not even getting as much dialogue.
I was, thank you for saying that, Sam, because somebody else has said that earlier, and yeah, whoever is cutting the scripts now, they're going for crispness. They're trying to cut out the repeat dialogue, because I'm sorry, nothing kills a story quicker than people saying the same thing 3 days in a damn row.
Oh, you mean like I don't understand why I drunk? I don't understand why I drank that one. I don't understand how I drank.
That was the worst. I just don't want to speak on it anymore, because that was
one of the worst
periods that I had to go through.
4 months, we back to it again. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it no more.
We're kind of not back to it. She mentions that, that's her excuse for getting Ridge back, but at least it has moved on to the next step of her actually having to fight for her own husband back. And I have to say, what is going on? Why did they have Brooke dressed like that? She was wearing that pregnancy jacket that Jackie used to wear as Steffi when she was pregnant. When she
Well,
was
you
hiding her
know, I
pregnancy.
honestly today, and I'm glad you brought that up. Well, two things. One, Amaya made a comment about how we have balance all of a sudden, and today was extremely balanced. We hopped from really three very distinct, different stories, all inside of that 119 minutes. And normally the show has not been capable of doing that very well in the last few years. So yeah, we are getting a lot more balance. Now, when it comes down to today's wardrobe,
Mhm.
when you look at who was wearing what and who they were wearing it with, that tells you a lot. When
Yeah.
I looked at what they stuck Brooke in, because first of all,
Yeah.
let me just go ahead and say both KKL and Krista Allen are drop dead gorgeous females.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I looked at what they stuck Brooke in, and then I saw Krista Allen flounce up in there like her first name was Rihanna.
Yes, and when I say she stepped in there, she might as well have kicked the door in. I mean,
Honey,
because when she walked through the door, she sucked all the air at the room. The
Was she
men all
walking?
paused.
Was she walking? I think she floated up in there.
Yeah, she
She was
flounce up in
on
there.
one. She was on one cloud, and it floated her clean up in there. Oh, hi, Eric. I was like, "Come through, Sass. Come through."
and she was wearing the hell out of them jeans.
She
Yes,
always
Yes,
wear
she
the hell out
she
of
was.
jeans.
always was
I
the
think they
gym.
have determined that yeah, we like Krista in jeans because they've been pretty consistent with the jeans since she was on
Yes,
the roof with Sheila.
I ain't
yes.
even gonna lie. I was like, now what in the hot girl summer is this?
Yes, honey.
I said, girl,
Yes.
and we talk, and you up in here talking about Ridge making a choice. Girl, you better go out and make some damn choices of your own because you look good.
Exactly.
You better
At
try to
this
go get
point,
with Carter.
when you look at Taylor, you're like, oh, she just digging at her. At this point, she like,
Yes. I
girl,
can't wait for the
bye. Ain't
combo to finish.
nobody thinking about your husband.
Cause
I
Come
y'all
know.
know we a
And then
day
she
off.
did that little cute wave at Eric, like, hi, Eric.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
So
here.
listen, guys, y'all know we a day off. So tomorrow they're picking up that conversation between Brooke and Taylor. Not tomorrow,
Okay.
Oh,
Monday.
yes.
Monday. They're picking up that combo between Brooke and Taylor.
And since
So
Monday's
it's not even
episode is
done.
probably gonna be Friday, it was supposed to be today's
It was supposed
episode.
to be today's episode. So
So we're
tomorrow's
gonna get Taylor
episode,
having the last word.
or we gonna see. We gonna see because listen now, I'm Team Taylor because Taylor is actually my first character love on both.
Mhm.
Me
Before
too.
Stephanie, it was Taylor. Excuse me. So, I forgot what I was even gonna say. I
I
done
was saying that
completely lost
Taylor
my
gonna
train
have
of
the
thought.
last word, and you said maybe.
Okay, that's right, maybe because even though I'm 100% Team Taylor, Ridge is actually Brooke's husband.
Mhm. See,
Yeah.
So
that's my
y'all, we
thing.
got to go ahead and just every time we need to go ahead and just go ahead and admit that we know that yes, Ridge is Brooke's husband. So Brooke might get on her heels and fight back. She's literally fighting for Ridge again. She don't have him in her house. Taylor just bust through the door and made all the men pause. Eric didn't even take her side against Taylor. Brooke might come out swinging and she might body slam Taylor come Monday.
She
So
probably
that's what I'm
will.
gonna watch for.
Because, well,
She is not finna mess up that vintage Chanel jacket to body slam Taylor. Now, if anything, she gonna say something about how the world renowned psychiatrist. This is out of her character. She's gonna try to pull that card. I think
Put it back
this
down.
this new Taylor, nah. She not gonna. I don't think she gonna have the last word come Monday, and
well,
it may surprise us.
well, here's the thing: the person who has the last word is the one who leaves first. So we know Taylor is supposed to show herself up at Forrester because we got that scene with the Tridge family in Steffi's office. So my assumption is that when she leaves Eric, she's heading to Forrester. So I guess we'll see who laughs last, because whoever last is the one who leaves first in these scenes. And
And
yes, and this is the thing that I think sometimes escapes the notice of people on soap Twitter. Here's the thing: Taylor is too good for Ridge. A
yes,
lot of
oh,
Taylor fans have long ago come to this assessment.
Yeah.
Now, granted, we enjoyed the hell out of Krista Allen and TK's chemistry
Playful
because
chemistry.
they
Yeah.
really got it popping. But at the end of the day, Taylor too good for him.
Yeah.
And I just enjoy Taylor taking a swing at Brooke and putting her in
That's
her
it.
place.
That's it.
I'm just petty like that. I enjoy the pettiness of it.
That's
But
it. We
but at
just
the end
enjoy Brooke showcasing her insecurity. Like, it's
exactly.
just
And then
fun to watch.
after
Yes.
decades of her
And it's
digging her nails into every man who tickled her fancy and making many a woman miserable, sweated out, sleepless nights, fighting with her husband because he's being inappropriate with damn Logan. It is quite refreshing to have
Yeah.
somebody else fly along and put her ass on
Do
the
you guys
defensive where she
notice
needs
that
to be.
only Taylor bring that out of her? Taylor is the
Oh,
only
these
one who
days? Oh,
brings
yes.
out of her.
Well, because she knows damn well, despite whatever retelling Bell wants to say about the history, that there are many occasions where Ridge had a choice
I'm
and
gonna
he
tell.
chose Taylor, not her.
Yeah.
And he knows that.
And not
Every
only,
time.
yeah,
So
and she got rich from beginning and this ending by default.
more or less. So at the end of the day, when they say Ridge is supposed to make his decision in early summer, I'm happy for it. He needs to go ahead, choose Brooke, and get the hell back in the saddle that we all know he wants to be in. So Taylor can go ahead, really have her a hot girl summer with somebody. Because here's my thing: is that when I looked at what they put Krista in for that scene and what they put Brooke in for that scene, Taylor really looked like a hot girl in that scene.
Didn't
Okay?
Yes. And she had a hot girl attitude though. It was even
Yes,
more
she
than
did.
her physical appearance, it was her demeanor.
Exactly. They matched her outfit to go with the attitude she was supposed to have in that scene. That's how I felt like they dressed them. They dressed Krista to match the attitude that Taylor was supposed to give Brooke. So I take that to mean, and I'm probably reading far too much into it because Lord
No, you're
knows
not.
Wardrobe doesn't promise us anything. I take that to mean that Miss Thing is a hot girl for real. This iteration of Taylor is a hot girl. So if Ridge is too stupid to take up the challenge, there's another man in LA who is not.
And I
Because
think that
always.
might be Lucky Bill is gonna be at the right place at the right time. Or
Like
it's gonna put a
always.
charm on.
I guess we're gonna leave Dealer out of the conversation since it sends y'all into fits.
Or
Yeah,
D.
I'm
Now
going
you
to
guys
it.
know what?
I'm
That's
melt
the
the
only
ice.
relationship that Taylor has not she has not even thought about being in, because Brooke is the only one that's been with Bill that Ridge doesn't like. Like he despises Deacon and he despises Bill. And Brooke has been with both. Taylor hasn't done none of that yet. Maybe this is the summer where she put a little toe in the water and try it out.
That's what I said.
She
Not
needs
Dealer
it.
though. Not
'Cause
Dealer.
She
What-
said Deacon.
What is it? Baylor?
Dealer. It's gonna
Baylor.
be dealers coming. We're gonna get a little bit of
We're gonna get Baylor. We should get Baylor. Y'all just get me a puke bucket if we get Dealer.
we'll
I
get
think
Baylor
He
and
cleans
dealer.
toilets for a living. So literally his
And-
job is to clean
and-
toilet stools.
And
It's gross.
What? I couldn't hear you.
It's Dealer. Y'all are complete. You know, I will say this much: for the four of us sitting up here, two of us on top just going, well, you know, it could go either way, and y'all two just know.
Like
At the
no,
bottom, no, it
I'm
can't.
that mean.
It can't.
Hey, I'm that mean with the man with his mouth all tooted up, shaking his head. No, ma'am.
it could
No
go
dealer.
either way, honey. She could be in a triangle. They could
I
be
won't-
fighting it out over Taylor.
Baylor, you mean dealer and a
I
dealer?
know.
Dealer
versus
and
Baylor?
Baylor.
So hold
Dealer
on.
and Baylor.
I could go for a dealer versus Baylor. I could go for that because that would be two men fighting over Taylor. I wouldn't care if both of them clean toilets.
I mean,
I
until
And they
until-
both lose, and they both don't get her. I could go
No.
for that.
I won't Bill to get her because he's the one that's got money in a private jet.
I don't want Bill with her because
I'm fine
that's
with
the
Taylor
one that
playing
she
the field for the summer.
They don't recognize Taylor shooting Bill.
Just like Blind Taylor never happened, the shooting never happened. The show.
That's right. Blind
But
Taylor
what
don't
I'm
exist.
saying is the reason why she shot him was because of what he did to her daughter in her eyes and Ridge's eyes, right? So
Yeah,
why would she go
Ridge
be
never
with
happened.
him?
What it was.
What?
Ridge made it seem like Bill had raped Steffi, and that was Taylor's justification for shooting him.
So
I'm agree with Ridge for the first time in my life, cause that's what it was.
Oh, it's still
But
hot.
anyway, I digress. I'll back from that.
But Steffi
Yeah,
said it wasn't. Steffi
That's what I
said
was
she.
gonna say. So
Steffi always said
Steffi
Steffi is
said
always
yesterday
protecting these men. She
she does,
protects
but
Liam
we
and she
saw that
protects
Steffi got her
Bill.
back broke. We saw her on top, on bottom, and she went back for seconds. So we're not
She
gonna
did
fall
not go
this
back
way.
for seconds. She
Girl,
got
you
up
ain't
and
been.
left.
She was standing out by
well,
the window, looking at the window after they had did it the first time. Bill came up behind her, put his hands around her stomach because we saw the two moles on the side of her stomach, and he took her back to bed.
That wasn't seconds. That was the same time.
but the
So
point
now
Yeah, so
is,
they took a
it
everybody
was
who
the
was
whole
same
in
time
that
to get the ball
cabin
in.
was a willing participant.
It
Steffi
was
may have been,
completely willing.
yeah. So Ridge going to Taylor and making it sound like their daughter had been assaulted, he was wrong for that. He got
Dead
Bill
wrong.
shot over that.
Hey.
We
He
don't
can't help how he tell
recognize
a story on the
NRA.
phone and it come out like it sound and what it was. He can't help that.
Um,
You can't blame that man for that. He can't tell if
Well, you
if
know
he
what? You
told.
can't blame Ridge for shooting Bill, regardless if it was consensual or not, because Ridge and Bill don't get along, and Ridge has told
exactly.
Bill too many times to stay the hell away from his daughter. So if we
See,
just gonna go on father to father, man to man type shit, Ridge warned him to stay the hell away from his
see,
daughter, and he didn't.
I would have accepted all that better if Ridge had just went over there and shot Bill his damn self
First of
instead of
all, he's
that would
not.
have worked.
He could have went to the police. He didn't. What he did, he happened to get a phone call from Taylor, and she wanted to know what's going on with her kids, her babies, her grandbaby. And this is what happened. Let me
So did
tell
Ridge
you what
gas her up?
happened.
So
This
Ridge
is
gassed
what he
her up.
did to our daughter. And then she got on the next thing smoking and came over there handling her business. That's why I said they can't hook up and be dating nothing. That
Or
But
just
they
that's
don't
just
the
seem
We
right.
that's
That's
the
don't
Brooke
thing. The
recognize
show
behavior.
does not
NRA no
acknowledge it though. But the
but
show does not acknowledge it anymore. It's
and
like
if
they
you
act
if
like
you
all
against
that
both
forgot.
of them, who are you
Yeah, I
for?
know. Brooke haven't even brought it up not once.
No,
more.
exactly.
Nobody's bringing it up. That's why we say Blonde Taylor doesn't exist. You
Right.
can't bring Taylor back and say she's perfect and she's a world renowned psychologist and she's done nothing but help people all her life. She's angelic and she's perfect. And then in 2 months say, well, she shot Bill in the back. I'm trying to
Because
tell y'all that
eh,
didn't happen. It's never going to
exactly.
play out
No, no, no.
anymore
You
in the
know what the
story.
biggest, clue to the show disavowing that bullshit that they wrote is that the one person who has the most reason in the world to harp on that doesn't bring it up. Brooke.
Exactly.
You
And
have
that's been
Brooke
Brooke.
up here talking about how, well, maybe Rich could be happier with Taylor. Maybe
Right.
she can give him the peace, etc., etc. Why would she say that, knowing what she knows about
And
Brooks
she
shooting Bill?
loved
And
it.
even
And she
contrary,
loved the idea of Taylor doing something that was totally out of character. Like
and she
Exactly.
even called
she
Taylor crazy.
fiend on it.
She
She was
called Taylor
told
crazy recently in scenes. And before Taylor came back, you remember when she was in the office talking to Ridge and Thomas was there. This was during the rain where all she did was drag for Thomas all day, every day, day
right.
in, week in, month in,
Yeah.
and out. And she told somebody, well, that's probably because of who his mother is. And said something about, well, you know how Taylor is. I'm just like, oh, they dragging Taylor and she hasn't even been on screen for years. I was
Exactly.
offended. I was offended. So now for her to actually sit there and say, well, yes, Taylor, maybe Ridge could be happier with you because you're more safe and
But he doesn't love
predictable,
you, but
right?
he
Well,
won't be
She
loved.
was she
he's not
wasn't
happy
crazy
with
when
you.
she sat up
You're
there and took
crazy,
that bullet
Taylor.
for her. She wasn't
Exactly.
crazy then.
But that's what I'm saying. They not gonna bring up the shooting Bill. So Taylor and Bill is, in my opinion, a perfect go for me. I'm never going to root for Steele again. You know, Steffi has a husband, so I'm not
Yeah.
gonna root for Steele again. So I
Mhm.
could definitely see Taylor and Bill. Those two actors and actresses are sexy, and I would love to see them get it together. They and plus they great actors,
They are
both
hot.
of them.
Like that would be a hot couple.
A
They
very
would.
hot couple, and it's new. How new is this? We haven't seen Don with Taylor. We haven't seen Bill
Never.
with Taylor ever.
Now,
Never.
And
And
then
you
we
know
have these
what?
two
He has
characters.
had a like before then. He always talked good about Taylor. Look who her mother is. The mother tells you how the daughter is, or somehow he said how Hope was like she's the flip side of the coin that Brooke is, and now look how Taylor is. Taylor, and that's how her daughter is. I liked how he talked about Taylor then. So
Right.
that's good. He's always had a good regard about Taylor.
Right. Because
But
it makes
he
more sense to me. And I think that we all kind of agree that it feels more natural and normal
Mhm.
for it seems to me so out of place when Bill is nice to Hope. I hate to say that, but to me it's just like so contrary to his character. I've never known a Bill that accepted Hope like that. I've only known a Bill that has been completely opposed to Hope, and so much so that we could go to great lengths to keep her out of his family. So it would to me, I would love to see Bill out of the Hope orbit. It's weird to me, and
is
see him
very
more
weird.
around Taylor, where he might interact with Steffi. You know, if he's dating her mom, why not? Steffi has a husband,
It
right?
seems pathetic. It seems like he doesn't want to be out of the loop. Like he's the only person, he has nobody else, so he has to, jump on the bandwagon, kiss the ring, and just follow suit. Otherwise, he'll be utterly alone because he really doesn't have a place in Steffi's life because she got a whole husband who don't really, get down with them. So he can't just be walking up over there and seeing his grandbaby. So it's kind of like it's pathetic. It's pathetic how he's just like that's his missing girlfriend. Like they just talking over tea and crumpets. Like, come on, no. Nobody, everybody knows he's never been like a really Hope supporter, and now
Well,
all of a
apparently
sudden
he
he's
is
Well,
in
on
this
that
love
note,
time.
you guys, we have to look at the time. We have done our overtime and plus some.
Yes,
So,
we have.
and I need to go check on my wards. So, this
Yes, you do,
was
because I heard him howling a minute ago.
yes, you did. And so the music is no longer working. But this was a great conversation tonight because we really got to dig into today's episode, especially with Paris.
Oh, yes.
We will be back Monday night at 7. We will not be here tomorrow because Saturdays are for when we don't do it on Fridays.
All
Um,
right.
so, but we will be back Monday at 7, and that's a wrap.
All
All
right. Good
right.
night,
Y'all
ladies
have
and
a good
gentlemen.
night.
Bye,
Good
Marcus.
night,
Bye,
guys.
Ronald.
good night, you guys. See you Monday.
Bye,
Guys,
Amaya.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Night.